The wastelands are never welcoming, no matter the season. We find ourselves in the deepest part of what they will still call winter. Ice, snow, temps that will freeze a sugar Sasquatch in place. Those are the terrors that one faces daily now, along with the other creatures that roam the winter wastelands. But there's still the candle of hope that flickers. People still sing. They find enjoyment and fellowship where meals and exchanging of gifts are the hope, even if it's just for a single day each year in the winter wastelands. The children always look forward to this one morning where they can arise to find gifts from the legendary keeper of hope, Santa Claus. We find our party preparing in their enclave, preparing to leave and do their part in spreading this hope to the outlying enclaves that are deeper into the mountains. This evening, we're playing an adventure, some of it and some modified by myself, called Wandering in the Winter Wasteland by James Michael Spahn of Bell Rider Games. He wrote this for Tiny Wastelands and Gallant Knight Games. As we start out in the enclave, as you're preparing, start out with you, Rush. Tell me who you're playing, what archetype they are, and anything extra about something that you have.
Well, since we are going to be delivering toys to all the good boys and girls, I decided to play Mickey St. Nicholas, or Mickey St. Nick, as he's called. He is an archetype of tyrant, which I took because that was the only kind of commander type archetype they had for the game. So he's not really a tyrant, but he definitely he's kind of a hard and soft guy both at the same time. He's all about the kids. He's all about trying to make their lives a little better, but at the same time, he's a little bit of a bourbon drinking badass. Doesn't take any crap. Doesn't put up with people standing in the way of him getting his job done. And likes to protect his kids, or protect the kids, trying to make the wasteland as good a place as he can for them. Because let's face it, life sucks in the wasteland. So he uses the traits of perceptive, which allows him to get an advantage about when trying to figure out info about his surroundings. So, meaning he sees you when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake. He's got insightful, which gives him advantage to testing to discern when someone's telling the truth or lying to him. He knows when you've been bad or good. And charismatic, which gives him advantage whenever he's trying to convince someone to behave a certain way, which is so be good for goodness sake. He carries a heavy ranged weapon. He uses an assault rifle, an AR-15 style assault rifle. That's for taking care of all the naughty people on his naughty list. And he also has the commanding trait, and he also wears the mantle of Center Class, which gives him a little bit of an advantage whenever he's directly defending children. And he is also driver of the Slayer, which is a wasteland tricked out El Camino with multiple reindeer antlers on the grill, big V8 engine, loaded with all the toys for the good girls and boys in the back.
Perfect. What does Saint Nick think about just one day a year, or really it's 2 days to venture up into the mountains and take all this? What's his thoughts on that?
His thoughts are going to be, it's something he looks forward to. Like I said, he's got a soft spot for the kids, and he knows it's kind of the grown-ups' fault that they live in the world they live in. So, anything to, he's probably had some grandkids of his own. He's an older guy who aren't around anymore, probably perished in the fall. So, anything he can do to bring a smile on these kids' face is great. But so he looks forward to it. But as I said, at the same time, aside from that, anybody who tries to stand in the way of getting that job done, he's not going to be very, very kind about. He's not going to put up with any harassment or whatever. He's there. He's here to do a job with military precision.
All right, sounds good. Joseph, we jump over to you if you can tell me about who you're playing, archetype, traits, anything else you'd like to add, and what does your character think of the mission of taking these toys and things to these kids in these outlying enclaves?
All right, so I'm playing Donner Jack, Donner to his chums here on the Slayer. He's a scavenger. He's got for traits, digger. He's good at finding stuff. He's lucky. He's got very nimble fingers, so keep an eye on your pocketbook. He's a shield bearer. He's never without his stop sign modified shield, and got himself a nice little pistol to help out. He's also a winter warrior, so he's kind of well suited to deal with the wasteland winter effects. But basically, Donner Jack is along because there's no elfin way we're not getting these toys to those kids. So that's him in a nutshell. He's all about making sure these kids are getting the best Christmas they possibly can with minimum fallout.
We hope it's minimal fallout.
We hope it's minimal.
Crystal, we jump over to you. If you want to tell me about your character, their archetype, traits, anything special about.
Yeah. So my character's name is Skittle. Not too many people actually know her real name. Everyone calls her Skittles, though, because her favorite candy is Skittles. She'll pretty much do anything for a pack of Skittles. And I mean, like if there's ever any kind of when she's traveling, if there's ever any kind of like off-road depots or anything like that left over from the fallout and stuff, she'll always have to like stop in there just to see if she can find herself a pack. But she's also extremely athletic and into all sorts of extreme sports. Her archetypes are insane, so she doesn't mind taking a risk of making anyone else pause. She can get advantage on any risky stunt. She also has Winter Warrior and receives advantage on all of her saves to resist Winter Wasteland. She's acrobatic, able to climb and tumble long distances, able to get up places most people would find difficult to do so. She's diehard, so if at any point she would be reduced to 0 HP, she is reduced to 1 HP instead, and she can do that once a day. She's very lucky and able to reroll 1 test per session. And as far as getting these toys to the kids, she thinks that's all well and great. But really, the reason she wants to go up this mountain is because she's heard that it's like a killer place to go get some extreme sporting done. So she's loaded up all of her her skis and her snowboard and some ice skates and all of that in the truck as well. And since no one else has seemed to be brave enough to be able to go up these mountains during the winter, she's like, well, guess I'll help these guys deliver these toys to these kids, and then I'll enjoy the mountain all to myself, or with whoever else is there. So that's actually her reason for coming along. It's like some things it's like, yeah, helping kids is great, but really her ultimate goal is to get up that mountain and do some skiing and some skateboarding and just a bunch of fun winter sports.
That sounds good. As y'all three are preparing, Mickey has the Slayer all prepared, gassed up, tuned up, oiled up to head out. You all three notice that this winter, though, it seems to be much colder and the temps are definitely quite a bit lower as you're heading out than it normally is for some reason. Of course, living in a post-apocalyptic world, you never know what the weather's going to do or anything else, and things you've seen and discovered. But as you three are heading out, we'll start with you first, Skittles. We'll go backwards. Tell me the maybe an enclave up in the mountains on the outlying stretch of the mountains or somewhere area that you're going to. Tell me about this enclave that you're going to take to and what you expect to find there.
I have a cousin that lives up in the mountains, and he came to visit me not too long ago. He told me about this enclave. He says that there's supposed to be it's kind of dug out into the mountain, or kind of like into a crater or something. I don't really know exactly what he means by that. It sounds like maybe the building or something is dug down back so that like the winter doesn't affect it so much. So I'm really looking forward to seeing exactly what he means by that it exists inside of like a crater.
Yep, and we start our journey there as you go that direction that you've been given to get there. And you start your travels there, of course, with Mickey driving the Slayer. And both of y'all can fit in the front. There's enough room for three up front, or if somebody wants to ride in the back of this old El Camino, maybe to keep a better lookout, that's up to you three.
Well, I mean, all my stuff is probably like stuffed in the back. I imagine we put the toys in the trunk, and then I probably stuffed the back full of my sports gear. So,
do you know what an El Camino is? Do you know what it looks like?
I believe so. It's really long, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's just an open bed, like a truck bed. I mean, of course, you would have tarps or something you could cover stuff, but it's just an open area.
All right. Yeah, I'll ride in the back. That won't be a problem at all.
Yeah, y'all start out that morning. Like I say, it's colder than normal. It's luckily not snowing or nothing, but of course there's enough snow and ice covering everything. You travel for a couple hours going to this enclave that you're going to there, Skittles, and on the way, as Mickey's making his way along the old road, you pass this old abandoned, what you would think be a gas station. And the first thing that comes to your mind is, I wonder if there's any Skittles there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Is there like a hood on the front?
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I'll like bang on the top of it and be like, hey, slow down, pull into the station over here.
Sorry, I was muted. So, you said is there a station over there?
Yeah, there's like an old abandoned gas station, the remnants of an old abandoned gas station that you would know.
Okay. All right, so I'll pull over into the abandoned gas station there, and then kind of lean my head out the window and be like, "What's the problem?"
No problem, but there might be some of my favorite candy in here. I'll be right back. I'm gonna. What's the ground like in this area?
It's, there's a decent road right in this area that's still well traveled. It's icy and snow, but I mean, it's very hard. Everything's covered in ice and snow pretty much.
Okay. If I brought like my mountain board with me, would I be able to like hop on my mountain board and like ride it into the store?
Sure, why not?
All right, yeah. So I'll jump out and like throw my mountain board under me, and I'm gonna like ride it into the store.
All right. What do the other two of you do as you see Skittles do this?
Well, she jumps out. Donald Jack will kind of look over at the Nick. I'll keep an eye on the toys, and he's going to jump out into the back, kind of hunkered down, kind of just keep a watch from the bed of the Camino or of the Slayer.
All right.
Yeah, probably the same thing. Probably open the door and just kind of step out, and get my rifle across my chest and just kind of look up. And I missed whether you said is it dark outside or are we in the daylight now?
It's in the morning. It's roughly, we'll say 9 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. So I just kind of scan the area to see if I, see anything that, suspicious or, anything like that while she's in there rummaging through the store.
Yeah, we'll start with you two as you're kind of, keeping an eye on things outside. Both of y'all do a standard 2d6 test for me.
Okay. So if I'm scanning I've got perceptive, so
So that's advantage.
I should get 3 for that one, I think.
Yep. If you got anything to give you any kind of perceptive dip.
Yeah, I get no advantage of any kind, but I have no successes.
Yeah, I got 2 successes, a 5 and a 6.
Yeah, Mickey, you feel something it's not just a cold that comes over you. You feel very uneasy about something in the area, but you don't see anything, but there's just something very uneasy as you're getting that. But as soon as Skittles, as soon as you go into the store, you do see some aisles that still has some items on it. But you also hear a noise, kind of a chittering noise, Skittles, as you look up and this large white lizard that is mutated looking starts running towards you, Skittles.
Bring it on. Yeah, I'm gonna let's see. Yeah, fuck it. I'll just charge it head on. I mean, why not?
Yeah, we'll go. You and our Skittles. We'll go into initiative with you. So just 2d6 and add up your totals.
Okay.
And let me know what you get.
What's initiative again?
Roll 2d6 and add them together.
Okay. All right.
Is that everybody or just her? Sorry.
Just Skittles for now.
6 and a 5, so 11.
All right. What do you want to do, Skittles? You lead us out as you're in the store. Is this large, white-looking? You would probably know it as some type of mutated ice lizard. It's about 3 foot long. Runs towards you.
All right. So I'm on my board, and I kind of just slide in as I'm going. But once I see this thing, I'll rock my body so I start to pick up speed, and I'll just I'll pull my machete off my back and give it 2 quick spins and just try and bring it in and slice this thing across the chest as I kind of ride past it quickly.
All right. We'll say one of your actions would be the movement to do that, and you have 1 action left. Then, if you want to attack it.
So getting up to it is a movement. And
yeah, since you're going to move up to it and try to keep going past it as you.
Well, I mean, just that's kind of how it would look mechanically, I guess. But I mean, either way, I want to as I'm riding past it, my attack or riding towards it or whatever, my attack will be with that machete. I'll slice it. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And how do I do this? Just 2d6?
It'll be, you're using your master weapon, so it'll be 3d6.
Okay, all right. And since I'm just straight up charging this thing, is that kind of insane at all?
Let me read how insane is worded real quick while you roll your.
It says whenever you would take a risk that would make anyone else pause, you gain advantage on the test.
Well, you have advantage anyway, since it's your.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I got 5s and 6. Is it 5 and 6 are successes?
Yep, 5 or 6 is a success.
Okay, I got a 5 and a 6 and a 1. So I got 3 successes.
So you strike into this thing, and you see dark reddish, blackish blood start pouring out of it. But it turns towards you as you go by, and when it does, it opens its mouth, and all this white breath just starts coming straight towards you. And it is going to hit you with 1 success. And make me a 2d6 save, just a standard 2d6. Let me know if you pass.
Okay. I got 1 6, so 1 success.
Yeah, you feel this stuff come over you. You don't take any damage, but you feel like this ice and all this frost and stuff starts trying to freeze on you, but you're moving so fast on your board that you're able to keep going on past and nothing happens. Okay. And at the same time, Donna, you and Mickey are hearing now at this point of what's going on. So if y'all want to roll 2d6 and get an initiative this next round.
I rolled a 2. Total.
Oh my gosh.
You and me are tied.
Oh wow!
I rolled the snake eyes.
Yep,
Wow,
too.
that was horrible, y'all. Y'all supposed to be out there on watch. What's going on here?
We were too busy watching. That's the problem.
All right, Skittles, we're back up to you at 11.
All right. So what I would like to do as my first action, like I imagine I kind of rode past this, right? Or am I like next to it now?
Yeah, I mean, you're still within 5 foot of it, but you went just past it,
All right. So what I'm going to do, or what I would like to do, is I would like to jump off of my board and try to like grab onto this thing's back, like basically put my hands around its neck. So I'll basically be like riding it like it's a bull or something.
You know, you wanted to try to strangle it or something, or?
No, I'm just trying to, I guess, I'm not really grappling it. I'm just trying to jump on the back of it. And like, I want to be on back of it. So like maybe it won't be able to reach around and bite me or whatever. So kind of like bull riding it.
Yeah, and you can have your insane trait for that. Roll 3d6 and see if you're able to get on it and hold on to it.
All right. 2 2s and a 4.
Yeah, as soon as you get on this thing and you're trying to get a grasp on it, it's covered, of course, in ice and stuff and real slippery. You roll off of it. As you roll off, it turns towards you and it takes one of its big claws and just tries to, put it.
I have one action left, right? Or was that both actions?
Oh yeah, if you still off, okay, yeah, you still got one. You're right.
Okay, yeah. So as I'm on this, and I'm kind of like, yeah, and then like I slide off. I'll kind of like, I guess, tumble to the ground, and I'll just try to just slice into this thing with my machete one more time.
Yep, that works.
And I got 2 5s, so 2 successes.
Yep, you do some more damage to it. You hear it, let out a noise, but it takes this big footed claw and it tries to, slam down on you at this point. It rolled 2 1s. Woo! Mickey, we are up to you and Donner.
So I reckon I'm going to try and maneuver toward the window and just see if I can just take a shot at this thing with my rifle.
Yeah, that'd be one action to move up to the store and see what's going on inside.
Yep. So I'll move to the window with one action, and then the next action I'll take a shot at him.
All right.
So now, how does this ammo rating thing work now?
We're gonna do it after combat's over. We'll use it, so you're able to.
Gotcha. All right. So taking a shot here, and shit. I need a 5 or a 6, right?
Correct.
Damn, I got 2 3s and a 4.
Wow.
Yep, missed it.
Yep. All right. How about Donner? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and like the others, I'll move up kind of to the doorway. Still kind of keeping the Slayer in view, and try and pop a shot with my pistol off at this thing. See this giant blizzard going on there. Oh my gosh, these new dice are mean. I totally miss.
Wow.
I have advantage and I miss.
Yeah, well, so did I.
You're standing inside here as your companions are shooting all these rounds off, zipping through the store, and the lizard's still going. So what would you like to do, Skittles? Is back to you.
Yeah, I don't even notice all the gunshots. I'm having so much fun. I'm just like, I'm gonna mount you if it's the last thing I do, and I'm gonna try and jump on it again.
All right.
And 3-1. I feel like I should have something bad happen for that.
Wow, we need to all put our dice away and get some new ones out.
Hey man, I've got the official tiny wasteland dice too, man. I can't not see. I even got the mushroom cloud and everything.
Wow, you should be getting all 5 and 6s in.
Right.
All right, and then as my second action, all right, this is what I'm gonna do as my second action. I'm gonna drop my machete, and I don't know if I can do this in one turn, but what I want to try and do is pull out my cord and quickly make what's it called? Like a a loop to like throw around the lizard's neck.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Lasso. You want a lasso?
Lasso. That's what I was looking for. Can I do that with my second action?
Sure, you can.
Okay. So should I roll to like try and make a lasso or?
Yeah, and we'll just say 2d6 with something like that. Standard.
All right. I got 1-5, so success.
Yeah, you're able to get this thing lassoed and seem to be kind of controlling it the best you can. But it looks towards you, and then it looks at the other two threats that have come up to the window that are shooting at it. And it looks towards you, Mickey, as it opens its mouth, and it's vapors and air and stuff come towards you this time. Wow, 2 more 1s. We are all jinxed. As it misses you. So, Mickey, you and Donna are standing there just outside the old store as you see your friend has this thing lassoed. What would y'all like to do?
Well, this time I'm going to take 2 shots at it. So I figured if I take 2 shots, I'm bound to hit with at least 1. So first shot is going to be, all right, I got 2 5s on that one. 2 and 2 5s, so that's 1 hit. Second shot, I got a 1, a 2, and a 5. So 2 hits.
Tell me, as soon as you pull both hits and hit this lizard that your friend is fixing to ride, what do you do to go ahead and finish this lizard off where it's not going to be ridden like a bronco?
So as Skittles is trying to climb on the back, and when she gets the lasso around the neck, she pulls the lasso. I'm assuming pulls the lasso, and then you said his head came back, and we saw the vapors coming out. So when he raises his head up, I get him lined up, 2 shots, 1 in the chest, 1 in the head, and drop it just as it drops on the ground so that she can land on top of it. And I look over at Skittles and I say, stop playing with that damn thing and get whatever you're trying to get. Let's get on the road.
Oh, man. I was going to name it Steve, and it was going to be my Steve.
Steve!
Yeah, so being totally disappointed now, I'll take my cord and put my machete away. Are there any Skittles in the store?
Yep, we're fixing to get to that part. You do find some Skittles, and also, since you asked, roll me 2d6. Give me the separate rolls, though.
A 1 and a 4.
A 1 and a 4. You find 2 cans of black olives that you find still on the shelf.
Is that all?
That's it. That and your Skittles. You find a pack of Skittles.
Okay. Nice. All right. I'm going to say, so I'm going to put my Skittles away. And I'm going to say, hey, I found some olives. Maybe we can cut the tail off this thing and we can make us a steak later.
Yep, that's actually right where I was going for. Yeah, Donner Jack nods in agreement, goes in and this thing. It's cold-blooded, but this will be a good meal. Pulls that tail back out and ties it to the hood of the Slayer.
Yeah, buddy, you can do that.
Awesome.
Let's see. Did y'all want to look around the store, y'all too, or just you're gonna?
Yeah, I'll take a shot at it.
Yeah, roll me 2 separate d6s. Let me know what you get.
While he's doing that, could I possibly pull one of the teeth out of this thing? Keep it till I make a necklace out of them or something?
Sure, you can.
Nice.
I got a 4 and a 5.
You find a bottle of the most expensive vodka that you've ever heard of sitting on the shelf.
Totally.
And since this is a apocalyptic wasteland, it's called Aristocrat.
I start looking at the vodka and then looking at the olives. Looking at the vodka and looking at the olives.
I like where your head's at.
I might have a better kind of nudge. Joe's character, I said I might have a better use for those olives than steak fixings, my friend. And I stuffed the bottle down in my big red coat.
I like where your Your head's cold fire down the chimney, I'll tell you what. And
What about Don?
look. Yeah, does this count as a scavenge roll?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. For Digger, I get advantage on scavenge tests.
All right. Roll me. Yeah.
Oh, I got 3 2s.
All right. I'm gonna give you
Three
a
of a
choice since you have advantage. I'm gonna give you a choice. What you can either find 2 cans of apple pie filling,
Ooh.
or you can find. Hey, you can find up under the counter. You find an old .38 revolver.
Damn. Both of those have their merits.
Right? I think in light of the vodka, the olives, and this fresh lizard's tail, I'm going with the apple pie filling.
All right.
Good Christmas meal, buddy.
Hell yeah, we're
Right.
gonna eat good tonight, boys.
And let's see. Also, Mickey, you and Donna roll the ammo check.
Oh,
Y'all
okay.
both had a 3, so roll. You need a 4, 5, or 6 for a success.
All right, on 1 dice.
Yep, just 1d6.
I got a 3.
All right, you failed.
Yep, I failed also. I rolled another
Oh
2.
wow. Okay, lower y'all's ammo rating down to 1 then from 3.
Oh, roll. It drops 2.
Yep, there's only choices of 1, 3, and 5, so
Ow. All right.
that's not good. You sure you don't want to take that old revolver too?
I'll be good.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all get your lizard tooth, get your apples, your vodka, your olives. You all set, ready out. You go to the enclave that Skittles wanted to go to first, and meet up with the leader there. Make deliveries to him for him to pass on the morning that the gifts are given out. And we'll jump to you, Donner. What's the next enclave we're going to? Tell me about it.
Yeah, farther up the hill, it's or deeper into the mountains. It's an old abandoned missile silo at one point, and it's been refitted and repurposed for housing for these poor orphans and the people that are taking care of them. Pretty good little fortified spot. Happen to know a young kid that's living up there now that at one point actually saved my life when we were out in the wastes before we discovered these enclaves where we live now. But he's staying up there just because there are other children in his age group.
What's this young kid's name? How old is he?
We'll say he's a 13-year-old kid. Goes by the name of Rugby.
All right. Y'all make it to this enclave, and you find your friend Rugby. As you pass also on the gifts to be given to the leader of the enclave. Rugby comes up to you before you leave, Donner, for y'all to move on, because you've got to make it to one more before nightfall, and you have to camp out into the wastelands. But he brings you some ammo for your pistol, Rugby. You can bump your ammo rating back up to 3.
Nice. I can give him a big ol' hug. Oh, that's a good lad right there. I've got a special wee nip for you. You can share it with any of the kids you like. And I'm going to pull out one of those cans of apple pie filling and pass it over. Oh, that's the good stuff. Cloves, cinnamon, apples. You probably never even seen an apple.
Perfect. That works great. Mickey, tell me about the enclave you're going to last for the day before night falls. Where are we going?
Oh, well, you put me on the spot there. So further up from the silo, it's the silo here that's got these wee lads and lasses out there. There's an old rundown brick church that seems to have survived the fall or whatever, and it's got an amalgamation of corrugated metal and tires and old broken fencing that they use to form a barrier around this church, and inside is it serves as almost like an ad hoc monastery, I guess you'd say. There's a small religious sect in there, and they try their best to minister to the people that are living and scraping a living from the land nearby, any of the little farmsteads and things like that. They do like you'd expect a good church folk to do. They act as healers and spiritual guides, and in particular to the over at the previous enclave where these orphans are. They try their best to keep an eye on the kids and make sure that they grow up to be productive and things like that. So they also, as any good Catholics, old school they've fallen into the kind of the old school monastic ways. So they have figured out to make how to keep a fairly nice brewing operation going on down in the basement. So that's a little bit of how they spread the joy to the grown-ups. But there's the place is run by a Father McCahey, and probably a group of about let's say 7 to 10 others. Just little farming action going on there. So they grow their own food. They try to be self-sufficient. Things like that. And they anytime you go there, you might find people there who are ill, trying to be tended to, kind of like a church slash small hospital, things like that.
All right, that's perfect. As you deliver the things you're supposed to drop off here with Father McCahey and his cohorts, he comes up to you right before you leave, Mickey, and he goes, I didn't know you had a twin brother.
I look at him and I say, well, that would make 2 of us that didn't know I had a twin brother. What are you on about, Father?
Well, I haven't been in the spirits yet, so I'm still, my mind is still working today. But yeah, a couple of days ago, a fella come by here. He looks just like you. Same, maybe could pass for your twin, dressed the same you are with the beard, and was carrying a rifle with you and some stuff passing through. And he said he was headed up on into the mountains to trap and do some stuff. Well, anyway, he left a pack here, and we don't have any use for it. And he hands you this like military type surplus pack, and it's got enough ammo in it. You can bump your ammo rating usage back up to 3, and it fits your AR-15.
Okay. I look at him and I said, was he driving the same kind of car?
No, he was on foot. We warned him about how cold it was up in the mountains, but he said it wasn't anything to him. He was a survivor.
But he was claiming to be me. He used my name and everything.
Oh, no, he didn't use your name, but he just,
he
looks just like you. I mean, I thought maybe you had a twin brother. We thought it was you at first.
Oh, so he looks like me, but he wasn't actually trying to pass himself off.
No, in fact, he never really gave his name, and every time we tried to ask him about it, he just kind of, went to another story. He said he's well-traveled.
Folks these days like to keep their own privacy, Father. Nonetheless, we'll definitely we'll keep an eye out for him and make if we run across him, make sure he's all right. But I appreciate the heads up nonetheless.
Yeah, like I say, we don't believe in weapons here, so we don't have any use for this ammo. I'm sure it will suit you and your style better.
Yeah, we could certainly use. We ran into a little bit of trouble back at the old abandoned gas station a ways back. Had to put down one of those icy lizard beasts. But
those things are pretty tasty if you make a steak out of them.
Yeah, well, that was kind of the plan. In fact, not. I don't know. Are we planning to keep moving on from? What time of the day is it?
Yeah, you would actually know to kind of keep on schedule that, you could stay here overnight, but it's usually best, which I've always done, is you move on for another hour or so into the mountains and you just camp out in the safe spots up there.
I tell them, I say, yeah, when we reach the camp that we're going to, we make camp later on. That's kind of the plan. But I tell you what we'll do. It's an awfully big one. I'm sure I can get old Skittles there to cut you off a nice hunk for you and the folks here to fry up a little bit, add to the a little protein with the vegetables that you're growing.
Yeah, and he would definitely, if y'all did that, he would take it and pass it on to the rest of them for sure.
Right.
Yeah, she'll get a. I mean, like, as long as there's enough left for the three of them, she'll give at church whatever's left over.
It's big enough for you to wrestle with. It's big enough to feed us for a couple of days. So yeah, we'll cut him off a flank piece and hand it over to him. And when we get back to the car, I kind of call the other two over and I kind of relay the story. So yeah, the father says there's a man come through here not too long ago, dressed suspiciously a lot like me. Didn't try to pass himself off as me or with my name or anything. In fact, he didn't really seem interested in giving his name, but he kind of passed by and said he was heading on up into the mountains. It seems kind of odd. Said the likeness was so good that it looked like he could be my twin brother. So I might want to keep an eye.
Bro.
That's almost like identity theft, but kind of not.
Yeah, kind of not. I don't know. We ought to keep an eye out for him, though.
Yeah, well,
we'll invite him to have some blizzard with us.
As long as he's a friendly.
If he looks a mess.
Yeah.
So this fellow just walked on foot up into the mountains like that.
That's what the father.
That's a recipe for death.
Come on, you wouldn't do that.
He seems to talk like. The father said he talked like he wasn't a big deal for him. Seems he knows his way around the wilderness, so I don't know. Something about it seems a little odd. Still, let's keep an eye out for him if we could.
Oh yeah, I'll be watching.
So
you're watching for sure.
Yep. Throw my pack into the side seat there. Or I guess in between. I'm assuming. I don't know, are both of you guys riding in the back, or is Donna
I'm riding in the back, but my stuff's in the back.
Okay. So I'll throw it in the seat between because most El Caminos have bench seats. I'll throw it in there and say, I reckon we ought to get on our way.
All right. Sounds like a plan to me. This looks like a mighty fine armrest, and Donner just kind of leans over it.
Yep, y'all continue up into the mountains. It would probably take you another hour. You would know. First thing, Slayer driver, do me a driving test. And since you have the deal, won't be at disadvantage. It'll be just a standard 2d6 test.
Okay. I got 1-6.
Yeah, you're going along pretty good, and you can tell the terrain and conditions seem to be worsening. And also, everybody make me a 2d6 test and let me know if you make a success. Anybody?
Is this a winter test?
No, it's just a standard. Nothing to anybody.
I got double 5s.
All right.
I got a 3 and a 2, so that's technically a 5.
Yeah, that's in version 720. It's coming out in about 10 years.
It's technically a 5, which is actually the best kind of 5.
What about Donner?
Just one success, regular 5.
Yeah, this would probably work good since y'all both are sitting up front. You're watching straight ahead as the Skittles is sitting in the back, eating Skittles probably. Y'all keep noticing a red like a red flash or something. It's on further down the road. I mean, it's never close enough to really see it, but you just see for a moment like a red flash, like almost like a beacon line or something. But it just flashes once or twice and goes off.
Can I tell how far ahead it is?
It seems like it changes in a way. It seems like at a moment's notice, it seems like it's close, and then the next time you see it, it may be further away.
Are you seeing that flash there, Saint Nick?
Yeah, and I don't like it. It seems to be moving, and it seems to be moving a lot faster than we are sometimes. And I don't know how they can do that on this mountain, on this trail.
I'll go ahead and give a rap on the window there behind us, and kind of yell back, "Hey, Skittles, keep your eyes open. We've got something strange happening up front."
When you rap on the window, I quickly try to hide something, and I go, "What? I don't have any Skittles."
I didn't say you had Skittles. I said, "Hey, Skittles." Wait, you've got Skittles back there?
No, I said I don't have any Skittles. What are you doing? I found olives, remember?
Well, hey, keep your eyes up front.
I'll put my Skittles back in my pocket.
We've got some strange flash happening. Keep them peepers peeled.
Maybe it's just brake lights. Maybe there's someone else up here.
Well, they're moving fast.
All right, I'll put my Skittles back in my pocket. And can I jump up onto like the hood of the car so I can try and like pull myself forward a little bit and see if I can see the flash?
I'm probably not driving that fast.
It doesn't matter if you are. I'm still gonna do it.
Yeah, just roll 2d6 though.
Can that be an acrobatic?
Riding on top of the car like Teen Wolf.
What, Tommy?
What does acrobatics say? Let me get to it.
Acrobatics. Whenever you would take you gain advantage when testing to do acrobatic tricks such as tumbling, long distance jumps, climbing, and maintaining balance.
Oh, what the heck? Yeah, I'll give it to you.
All right, cool. So that's 3d6 then?
Yep.
Okay, I got 2 successes, a 5 and a 6.
Yeah, once you get up on the hood, like Mickey said he was driving, slow and careful. You get up on the hood, you see the red flash just one time, and when you see it, it seems to be very far off. But you actually do see it now of what they've described.
All right. All right. Can I is there anywhere I could maybe tie my cord to so I can kind of hold on to my position?
If the picture is to be believed, there's a set of racks that come up across the fenders and on the hood that have reindeer antlers mounted to them. So tying yourself off to those racks, those metal racks that come up, probably not be too difficult, I would say.
Yep, it looks exactly like that picture. You don't have it, Crystal, but yeah, you would have plenty of time or plenty of things to tie off to secure.
All right, yes, I'll do that. So I'm gonna tie myself off just so I have a little bit more security, and that way, if I need to jump off and grab onto something else, I'll be able to do it.
Mickey yells out the window and says, if you're gonna tie yourself off up there, that's fine, but don't block my vision.
All right.
Shows up on camera, but
yeah, it does.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and kind of stay sort of, I guess, a bit more to the right so that I don't block his vision. My left foot will be in the center of the hood, kind of, and then I'll just kind of sit not on the window but up on the roof, and hold on to those. Are the bars on the hood or on the roof?
They're on the hood and along the fenders.
Yeah, it's kind of it's like a four-wheel drive pickup with a big bumper around it, you would say.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. I'll just tie myself off to there, and I'm just gonna kind of use the cord pull on it, keep myself kind of down as I kind of am sitting on the roof and like just kind of like pulling myself towards the hood a little bit to keep my balance.
Yeah, you're able to do that for sure. I mean, you continue driving, Mickey, probably for another 20 minutes, 30 minutes as night falls, definitely getting closer. And Skittles, with you being up there in the position you are, as y'all start to come across a little rise or something across maybe a hill going further in the mountains, you notice ahead, not a red beacon light or red just flashing light, but you notice it appears to be a campfire on up ahead just off the road there. You can definitely tell it's a campfire that someone's built.
All right, I'm gonna kind of like lean into the window, and like I'll like on the passenger side and sort of tap it so that the passenger will let the window down a little bit, and I'll be like, "I look like there's a campfire up ahead. You want me to go scout it out?"
Well, I look over at Donna and say, "You think we should let her go, or should we just approach cautiously?"
Maybe caution, strength in numbers.
So I say, just sit tight on the hood on the roof there, Skittles. We're gonna approach him with caution, but get those blades of yours ready to go, just in case.
All right, so I'm gonna completely ignore that, and while he's driving, I'm gonna like kind of like roll back from the hood into the back again. If I can do that, I don't know if I need to roll for it.
Oh no, you can do that.
Once I get to the back, I'm gonna grab my snowboard, and are we going downhill?
Yeah, you made up the little crest of the hill. Now it's starting back leveling off and going a little bit downhill, correct?
All right, so if it's like a big drop downhill, when I get in the back, I'm going to put my snowboard on, and I'm just going to like hop out the back and like snowboard down the hill towards the fire.
Are you going to speed up, Mickey?
Just a little bit. As the snowboard goes on past the car, I'm just going to kind of look over at Donna and go, that's a crazy bitch. and just kind of rev the engine a little bit and start going down. I don't want to start going too fast because we're on snow. I don't want to lose control, but I don't want to just go flying up on these guys either, making people nervous. So yeah, I'll speed up like a little bit, but I'm not going to like go flying down there now.
How far do you want to stay behind Skittles? Then what'd you say?
Maybe 50 feet.
All right, that works. Skittles, this is what you see as you continue on down on your snowboard and get closer. Sure enough, there's a campfire just off of the roadway there, just very adjacent to it. You see a very large, what appears to be a human. You can't see his face, but he's wearing like a big dark green fur coat with like a bearskin deal wrapped around part of his throat and his head, but his hooded coat, and he's just sitting there by the fire. That's all you see is one person. It appears to be a human. Doesn't appear to be any kind of mutant or anything else. He hasn't noticed you.
Is there any way, like, as I'm going down, is there any way I could, like, bank up, like, either right or left and, like, kind of, like, go around a little bit, Yeah,
I mean, you wanting to come out, like, in front of them or behind? What do you want?
I'm thinking, like, what I would like to do is maybe kind of, like, bank right and be able to get, like kind of like go around in a circle or a half circle so that I could hopefully stay hidden a little bit and like, get a good look around the camp.
Yeah, one of the couple of the first things you notice is the smell coming from the camp. You can smell like this food, like it appears to be bacon and biscuits and stuff, and you can smell coffee and stuff that's coming from the fire that he's got. But have you got anything to try to sneak around, like you want to snowboard around? And is there anything you got to help you with that or not?
I mean, acrobatics, not really. Not unless acrobatics would somehow count.
Yeah, I'm going to say no on acrobatics. So just roll me 2d6.
Okay. 2 successes, 5, 6.
Yeah, you're able to go around to the side of, say, to the right, like you described. You're able to go, and if you want to come out in front of his figure, you're able to do that without him noticing.
I'm sorry. Give me 1 second, Tony.
All right. The other
Yes,
two of you,
so
I mean, yeah, y'all. I guess y'all are noticing. You know, you get closer, you see the same thing. This very large human-looking figure that's sitting there wearing this big, dark hooded, appears to be like emerald green coat, but he's also like got part bear fur and stuff around him. But you can't see his face or anything. You just tell he's very large.
I kind of look over at the Nick. You know, we should have known she was just going to take off anyway. But hey, and then noticing, stops, noticing this guy sitting down there, and kind of cracks the window a bit more, and he sticks his nose out. Do you smell that? That smells like real coffee. I haven't seen coffee in at least 10 years. Oh my God, that smells wonderful.
Smells like real bacon.
Am I imagining that?
Nope, you're not imagining that one bit. So
if we play our cards right, we might get the cup.
We'll try. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull up to about 50 feet. Obviously, I'm sure the car kind of makes a bit of a rumbling sound anyway. But as I put the car in park, I'm gonna kind of give the engine like a little half rev, so it just kind of goes boom, and then cut the engine off and leave the headlights on. And actually, no, I'm going to cut the headlights off because that way the fire will illuminate me.
All right.
And I'll step out, and as I step out around in front of the car, I'll just kind of get up there and I'll say, "Hey there, old fella."
Yep. As you do that, Skittles, are you back?
I'm going to call that a big day.
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
All right, Skittles, you're able to snowboard in front of this guy as your other two companions, and you hear Mickey holler out, "Hey, old fella."
All right. I'm gonna start getting off my snowboard as I'm smelling all this food and stuff. And how deep is the snow? Like, would I need snowshoes?
Oh no, I mean along the edge of the road. No, it's not that bad. You can walk without them.
Okay, great. All right. So, am I in any kind of tree line or like down a hill or any?
No, there's no trees at all up here. It's all just a regular rock and mountains. I mean, this guy. If you snowboarded in front of him, I mean, he's looking directly at you now, and you're looking directly at him, and you can tell. Description of him, and it is a very large, older human. He's got this very big, thick white beard and mustache and very long, white flowing hair, but it goes back into his hood. He appears to be pretty old, and he's just sitting there, and he looks at you, and he goes, "Coffee, biscuits, bacon. I've got plenty." And as he says that towards you, he turns around and looks towards your direction, Mickey and Donner, and says the same thing. "Coffee, biscuits, and bacon. I've got plenty. Come join me."
Reach over, kind of.
Hey, that sounds great, old man. I'll tell you what, we got some olives, and we killed this blizzard earlier, and got a big tail. We can cook up some steaks. If we can make this. We can make this a party.
I reach over and tap Donner, like whack him on the arm, say, "There's your coffee, my friend." And I'll kind of, keep the rifle across my chest, but just kind of put my hands on it like this and just kind of walk over and walk over to his fire, and I'll pull out the bottle of vodka that I found, and I'll say, "I brought dessert."
And Donner takes his Christmas hat off, leaves the shield back in the car, and comes walking up, just in his eyes, seeing in the smell of just this coffee, this bacon, this feast. And he walks up and pulls out the can of apple pie filling. "I've got dessert too. Bless you, sir. Bless you." And takes a seat. I'm Donner. Pleasure to meet you, sir. I can't thank you enough. This is all just so wonderful.
Yeah, the first thing, Mickey, roll me your perceptive deal, so 3d6.
Okay. I got 1-6.
Yeah, you get a very easy feeling. I mean, you can tell there's nobody hiding. There's no ambush or nothing. I mean, seems like he's alone, and you get a very easy feeling about being here. And he looks towards you three, and he goes, "Well, I don't drink that hard stuff anymore. It kind of makes me go a little bit crazy, you know. Don't drink that, but they got plenty of coffee, plenty of biscuits, and man, them apple pie on them biscuits. I bet that would be good, wouldn't it?"
Oh, I believe it would be wonderful.
Well, we could open it up and warm it up here, Vin, and I like it hot on a cold night like this.
I wouldn't shortchange a slice of bacon on that biscuit with that apple pie either.
Oh, that bacon apple pie biscuits are just the thing to wash down that sweet coffee.
So,
Well, they call me SK. I've always went by initials all my life. That's just I'm SK. Been traveling these roads and these mountains for many years.
well, my name is I'm Mickey Nicholas, and a lot of the folks around here got kind of a nickname, Saint. So, it's kind of a joke. They nicknamed me Mickey Saint Nicholas, and we're once a year we make our rounds. These two help me out. We got the truck over there. It's loaded down with gifts for the little ones, and we're making our way up the mountain to try and make our delivery this year. It's particularly cold this year, though. Seems like.
When you mentioned the Slayer, he turns and looks at it, and he stands up with his cup of coffee. And this guy's very tall, probably 6'6", and but he looks much larger with wearing these furs and everything. And he says, "Is that a 75 or 76 model?"
75.
Ah, y'all did some work on it too, it appears.
A little bit. Every year since the fall, since the Great Fall, it gets tougher and tougher out here, and all manner of beasts and creature and things like that. So we had to put some bars across her front to, so people get in the way. Creatures, these lizards, these blizzard lizards, get in the way. Sometimes you just got to push them out the way. So we had to weld some little add-ons onto her.
Hey, that's right. It's amazing what you can find if you know where to look.
Indeed, Donner finds the bits and pieces. She still runs strong, though, strong as she ever did. They don't make them like that anymore.
No, they don't. Those things will go for many more years if you take care of them. And even this cold that you mentioned, it's much colder this year. I'm afraid it's going to get colder before it gets warmer, if you know what I mean.
I was afraid of that, actually. She's got a big engine and a good heater, so.
Well, I guess the next few days will probably tell a lot of things how it's gonna be, I guess, huh?
Yeah, it will. So, what about yourself? You up here this awful rough. I see you're obviously you're no small man, but even for a big guy like you, being up in these mountains on foot like this, especially at night, and by yourself, you're not worried about predators or creatures or bandits or anything of the like.
No, I seem to have a natural way with the creatures and stuff. They don't bother me. I don't bother them. And using your perceptive also, you can tell by looking around that he's very well prepared for the atmosphere and the environment. I mean, you can tell he's got this huge tent deal that he puts up, probably a sleeping bag. I mean, you can tell he's very well prepared. It seems like he's definitely a survivor, but nothing seems out of place at all about him.
I'm amazed that it looks like you're out here on foot. Do you think we could offer you a ride?
No, man, I drove one of those things years ago, and that thing's too speedy for me. I prefer to take life at a slower pace.
Suit yourself, but there is room in the back if you change your mind. It's the least we can do for all this the coffee and the biscuits and.
Well, the best thing you can do is probably just stay the night. Y'all look like y'all ready to camp out. I've got plenty of wood and hot fire. We could all set up a watch. And like I say, I don't think anything's going to happen, but you're more than welcome to stay the night.
Yeah, we were getting pretty close. We noticed on the way up here, though, we kept seeing our red flashing light. So I was a little hesitant about making camp because I didn't know what the world that was. I hadn't seen anything like that. It seemed to be moving awful fast.
Well, now that you mention that, I've seen it a few times the past few days. It makes me feel pretty uneasy, if you ask me.
Okay, well, that's kind of how I felt about it. So maybe more safety in numbers. I kind of look at the other two and see if that meets with their approval.
Yeah, I'm like busy stuffing my face, like I'm pouring myself coffee. Like y'all are sitting there going on, and I'm just like I have a biscuit in my mouth, and I'm like I have a steak on the fire, like poking at it, making sure it's cooking right.
I kind of jab a thumb over towards Skittles. I was like, she's a little bit of she's a special kind. I don't think she cares much one way or another. It's good to have.
I go where the Nick goes.
There you go.
I go where the Nick goes.
So yeah, we'd be mighty thankful if you share the fire for the night. I'll probably pull the car up a little closer if it's all right with you.
Yeah, and bacon's not any good after the next morning for leftovers. So help me eat all that too.
Well, you don't have to ask us twice.
Well, you don't have to ask me once.
So yeah, I'd probably go get the Slayer and just kind of pull it up a little closer to maybe pull it near the fire to maybe act as a bit of a wind block. Just instead of being 50 feet back away, and I guess just sit down and enjoy the feast with the gentleman. Have some coffee and maybe a nip of vodka at the end.
Yeah, and he just tells you stories of him traveling. He's been traveling through these mountains and ways for years, just on foot. He just prefers on foot. And if there's anything specific I would like to ask him or anything or not.
So, were you at the shelter a few days ago?
No, I don't go to many of the populated areas, unless I need a few supplies. And he points off a totally different direction. He said, I usually get my supplies from the enclave over there, but no, I haven't been in any of the shelters or things. Nope, not me.
You happen by chance to see a man that looks more or less exactly like him? Donner says, pointing at Mickey the Nick. Like, have you seen him before? We heard tell of a feller looked just like him came walking up through the mountains here.
Well, when I was a kid, before I learned the truth, we always heard the story about Santa Claus. You look kind of like him from the pictures, don't you? Is that something you do special?
Well, I think it just kind of fell in that way. I've always had a bit of a soft spot for the kids, and I started delivering the gifts. And, with the beard and everything, it just kind of, it fit. So I just kind of, you might say inadvertently took up the mantle, I guess, for lack of a better term. It just kind of something I did, and it just seemed to fit. So people started calling me, St. Nicholas. That's my last name. It was just a string of coincidences. So I was like, what the hell? If it makes the kids laugh, I'm all for it.
I think it's just because he was too lazy to shave.
After you tell the story of Mickey he stands up and he pours out what little bit of coffee he had left, and he reaches and touches you on the shoulder, and he goes, "You're a good person, then, aren't you? Very good person." And you feel a tingle run through you. Very strange. I mean, it may just be the cold and everything, but well, an old man needs his rest. If y'all don't mind, I'll go on to bed and wake me up for the last watch. I don't mind waking up to the last watch, and I'll get breakfast going and get you three up in the morning.
Sounds fair enough. And so I don't know if we have tents or if we just kind of sack out in the car. Or
yeah, you would probably have tents and sleeping bags.
Right. That's in your survival kit, isn't it?
Yeah, yep. You're not supposed to sleep like in a vehicle.
Yeah.
Like when it's like really cold and stuff, you're not supposed to sleep in a vehicle because it'll get colder in the vehicle than it will outside.
Yeah,
this is a Slayer though.
I experienced that one actually firsthand one time. That is actually the absolute truth.
Yeah, we have a ragged sleeping bag, so I don't know if we might would have brought a tent with us as well, or two.
Oh yeah, y'all would have enough preparations because would know every year you have to do the same thing, camp out the first night.
Right, cool.
We'll probably also just with the tarping. I'm sure we could just tarp over the whole bed of the truck or the Slayer and makeshift.
Yeah, I mean, if we have a tarp, you can easily make a like a good shelter with a tarp, with a simple tarp fire.
So yeah, I'm gonna drop it. I'm going to drop a couple of black olives into a glass with vodka and swirl it around a little bit. Have one last nightcap before not going to get drunk or nothing. Just have a little nightcap after the coffee and bacon, and before I drop into the bed of the Slayer there.
Yeah, I'm gonna volunteer to take first watch.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'd look over at Skittles, be like, "Yeah, give me a starter when you're ready to sleep. I'll take in for the next one."
Yep.
No problem.
I'll take the third, I guess.
And during my watch, I would like to maybe like climb up on the hood or the roof. Maybe if the roof isn't too weak. Is it snowing hard?
No, that's been unusual. It's so cold. There's been no snow this day. It's just, but of course the ground is covered in ice and snow. But yeah, there's no snow going on now.
I assume we would have some binoculars with us.
Oh yeah.
So I would like while I'm on watch, I would like to kind of survey the area and see if there's any kind of good like a good frozen lake or anything.
Yeah, it's going to be where you're not going to be able to see good because we're talking about at nighttime. So I mean, with regular binoculars, you're not going to be able to see nothing.
Okay.
At a distance.
All right.
Well, yeah, Skittles, your watch goes by very smooth. You don't hear anything. Like you said, there's enough firewood that amazingly is there to keep the fire stoked up. And I guess you're going to wake up Donner next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Donner, your watch, unless there's anything special you want to do, it goes through very smoothly as you come up to Mickey to wake Mickey up.
Yeah, nothing special. Just passes the time on his watch and goes to get up the next guy.
Yeah, Mickey, same thing. You're awakened and everything. There's no snow. Of course, it's just cold, bitter cold. But everything goes smooth until it's time to wake up SK.
All right, so I'll go over and poke my head inside of his tent and wake him up. Say, tell him it's time for the last watch, my friend.
Yeah, roll me your perceptive again as you go to wake him up in his tent.
Doctor, you've gone too far. The human body wasn't meant to withstand that amount of pain.
I got 2 successes on 3 dice.
Yeah, as you go to wake him up and stuff, and he starts rustling up, it's a very large bag. He's got a very large bag there, and you just catch a glance of it, and you're thinking he probably keeps most of the stuff in this very large bag. But yeah, you're able to get him up, and he says, "Well, get you some rest now, and in the morning I'll wake all 3 of you up, and we'll have some fresh bacon and fresh coffee, and one of the biscuits will be left over, but promise you a decent warm fire too.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And then I'll go crawl into the bed of the Slayer.
You three finish the night, and probably at about the same time, give or take a minute, the next morning, if anybody's sleeping outside of the Slayer, outside on the ground or in a tent, you start feeling the cold hit you, and then you start feeling in the warmth of the fire is coming through too as you wake up and you see a boiling hot firewood. It's there, and you see the coffee pot. You see the biscuits warmed up. You smell the bacon again. The old man's gone.
Yeah, like, is his tent still there?
Everything is gone. It's like he was never there at all. He's just completely gone.
But there is a fire and a boiling pot of coffee?
Yep, there's the fire still going. There's fresh thing of coffee. The biscuits are warmed back up, and there's bacon there waiting for you three.
You must have somewhere you needed to go, I'll say, and I'll just talk out.
I kind of look over at Donner with a raised eyebrow and say, he's kind of an odd old man, but can't really deny his hospitality.
Yeah, I guess needed an early start.
Yeah, been nice to give him a handshake at least.
Oh, indeed. I hope that will come okay out there.
As you three are preparing your coffee and breakfast there, talking about the disappearance of the old man, you all three notice at the same time, about 10 foot away from the fire and the campsite itself, stuck in the ground is this sword. And it's glowing silver and crimson colors spiraling down the blade of his sword, and it's just stuck in the ground. And you can see a note that's tied to the pommel of it. It's kind of swaying back and forth in the breeze this morning.
Huh.
Oh.
So I grab my quick coffee, a cup of coffee, and walk over and just kind of look the thing over. And you go, what do you make of this?
What's the note say?
Yeah, what's it say?
So I'll
The
reach
note,
over.
the note is scribbled out in cursive writing, and you read it. It just says, "You may find this useful." And it's got initials SK at the bottom.
SK, that was the old man's initials. It says we may find it useful. So I reached.
Well, he must have seen my machetes and thought I was a sword master.
Oh shit.
I wanted to reach down and I guess just kind of grab it, touch it, and see if it does it.
Yeah, as soon as you grab it and maybe pour it out of the snowbank or whatever, it tingles for just like got a tingle feeling like you had when he touched your shoulder the night before.
So I hand it over to Donner and I tell him, I say, what do you tell me what you think of this thing?
It's a hell of a find. That's a really nice blade.
You get the same tingle, Donner, as soon as you touch it. The tingle goes through you. Of course, you wouldn't know about it going through Mickey before unless he had told you. But yeah, you get the same tingling feeling. It kind of chills you for just a moment in a good way.
That's a really nice blade. I can't explain it, but it makes me feel good. Like not like the Conan way, but like I don't know. That's really fine. Pass it over to Skittles. Look at this, lass.
Yeah, I'll take it and I'll look at it.
Yeah, same thing, Skittles. As soon as you touch it and take it from it, it's kind of like that static electricity at first. You get that tingle through you as you take hold of the sword.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Right?
That does.
Right? It just makes me feel good when I hold it. It just feels perfect in my hand. Would this count as a light melee weapon?
Yes, it does.
All right, so I'll take it and I'll sort of do a few little fancy twirls and stuff, twirling it around. And I'll be like, if you guys don't mind, I mean, this seems like my kind of weapon. If you don't mind, I wouldn't mind holding on to this.
probably seem to have a little bit better skill with these things than I do. So yeah, just stick it in your belt, but be careful with it. Like I said, he says we might find it useful. I have a feeling that old man knows something that he didn't tell us. So
Yeah,
We'll have to agree.
I'll replace one of my machetes because I think I'm carrying like 2 machetes on my back, so I'll pull off one of my machetes and put this in its place.
All right, you can do that. And you still have that little tingling as you're doing all this. You know, eventually subsides on its own, but you get a good feeling about this weapon for sure.
So now that it's daytime, I'd like to look around again. Are there any like frozen lakes around?
No, not in this area. There's not. You would know once you continue on the direction you go. There's going to be one closer to one of the last enclaves you deliver to, but yeah, there's nothing right here.
All right. So I'll hop back in the back of the El Camino after we get all packed up and everything, and getting ready to go again.
I'm gonna stuff whatever biscuits happen to be left into a small sack and throw them in the cab of the El Camino.
I kind of want to. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I can retcon something, but after dinner last night, I was gonna say I would like maybe a half a pack of Skittles left. I was gonna share with everyone.
Oh yeah,
sure.
So I'll just say I did that last night.
I'll drop a couple of those in the vodka too. Get a fruit flavor out of it.
So like I would normally not share with anyone, but you guys are all right.
So we'll load the Slayer back up and I'll pour everybody who wants one last cup of the coffee and just put the fire out and then hop in and fire up and continue on.
Yeah, as soon as you put the fire out and you all starting to go, I mean it's cold. I mean, especially after the fire, it is very cold, and you start seeing a light snow that's starting to fall this morning. And I need everybody to make a save. If you have that winter warrior, you get to make it an advantage. If you don't have winter warrior trait, just 2d6.
I got a 5 and a 2, so I got 1 success.
All right,
I got 3 5s.
Nice.
Got me a pair of 6s.
All right, perfect.
I think my skin just starts to glow red.
No, that comes later when you're attacked. Yeah, y'all are able to fight off. I mean, it's like I say, it's already cold. It's been colder, but I mean, it just seems like something about this morning. It's even colder. But you're able to get in there and fight off the effects of it as you start on the road and move along probably 15 or 20 minutes. As you do, Mickey, make me another driving test.
All right. Oh, shit, drop that on the floor. All right. I got 1 5.
Yeah, you come to the crest of another little hill. You've got your snow tires and stuff, but you come to the top of the hill, and maybe for just a second it kind of sideways, but you get traction again. But you notice about 60 foot in front of you, standing in the middle of the road, are these 3 objects standing there that appear to be about 7 or 8 foot tall, and they're just kind of blocking the road, standing there, and they're covered in all this ice and snow, is what you can see from where you're at now.
Do they look like a creature or?
Well, do your perceptive deal if you want to. No.
All right. 1 success on 3 dice.
Yeah, you can tell it's some type of obstacle or some type of maybe robot type creature you've dealt with before or something close to it. That there's 3 of them just staying there and not moving in the road.
So when I get, say what?
It doesn't look good.
No, it does not. So I'd stop the car about 50, 75 feet And then I just hit the horn one time. See what happens.
Yeah, we'll say 60 foot to say you're 60 foot from them.
Okay.
When you blow the horn, you see some of the ice and snow, like off a bough of a tree, how it just kind of falls off. You see some of the ice and snow kind of fall off, and you can see part of them closer. These are some type of aluminum type robot mutant deals that maybe you've never dealt with them before, but you've heard stories about them. And they're about 7 or 8 foot tall, but they're just standing there. None of them have moved yet. But whatever blowing the horn got some type of reaction.
I could try running them over, but they're made of metal. I'm not sure how the damage would be.
Can I jump out of the back again on my snowboard and charge at it?
Yeah, you want to get on your snowboard? Do what? I couldn't catch the end of what you said.
I want to do what I did before. Jump out the back of the Slayer on my snowboard and ride towards this thing that he just honked at.
Yeah, they're all three in a line, and being about 60 foot away, I'm going to say it would take both of your actions to get there, but you can definitely get up to them if you want to.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.
All right.
So you're all like, huh? Maybe we should like go around or something. And then like you just see snowboard.
Oh hell! We should have known that was going to happen.
Yep. I tell you what. Screw it. So I'm gonna drop the thing down and drop the thing down and drive, because I just remembered that the Slayer has Detroit steel, which means it doesn't take damage from rams that it initiates.
Right.
So I'm gonna stomp on the gas and just charge at the one on the far left and see if I can hopefully just completely knock it out. Hit it with the ram that's welded onto the front of the car. I mean, fuck it, let's Mad Max this bitch.
You're going to take the one on the left. What about Skittles? You hear the Mad Max Slayer coming. Which one do you want to take? The center or the right?
Planning on really hitting one, but since he seems like he's intent to do that, can I pull my sword out?
Yeah, as you get there and pull the sword out, we'll just go and everybody roll initiative and we'll go from there.
If I see him going left, I'll go right.
My combined total.
Did you hear me, Tony?
Yeah.
Okay.
My
What'd you
combined
get,
total
Mickey?
5 combined.
5 for Mickey. What about Donner?
I got a 7 from me.
All right, Skittles.
Much better this time.
Total 8.
These aluminum snowmen got a 10. So the one that's standing there in front of you, Skittles, as you run up to it and maybe pull out the red sword, crimson red and silver sword that you have been given this morning. This thing looks down towards you, and out of its arm comes up this ray that just shoots straight towards you. This ray hits you, you'll take 1 point of damage. It's this like ray, and it just starts, as soon as it hits you, it starts, your whole body starts to trying to freeze over. So make me a 2d6 save.
Skittles?
Yeah, Skittles.
Okay, she takes 1 point of damage. Does my Winter Warrior, do I get advantage on these saves?
No, because this is not a natural effect, an environmental effect. It's straight, It's from the creature itself.
1 success.
All right. You're able to fight off the effects of this freezing on your body itself, but you'll just take the 1 damage. The other 2, the one in the middle starts charging towards the Slayer. And as it starts charging, it puts its metal head down like the big blockhead, and it's going to charge and try to ram into the Slayer too. But it's going to miss the Slayer somehow. It slips and falls into the snow there. The third one that is staying there, it shoots this ray out towards the Slayer itself as you're coming towards it. Oh my, yeah, it did one success. So the Slayer, if you will, note down, rush, the Slayer takes 1 point of damage as that ray hits it.
Okay. So, get my little piece of paper here.
And we are up to you, Skittles, as all this has happened.
All right. Well, since this thing shot at me, I'm gonna ride past it and hit it with my sword, my new sword.
All right.
This doesn't count as a machete, though, right? So I just get 2d6.
You'll get 2d6, yeah.
All right. I got 1 6, so 1 success.
Yeah, describe for me, is this sword just that you get that tingle feeling again as you hit this creature and just completely demolish it, if you want to describe how you do it.
Nice.
Yeah. Wait, what did you say happened to it?
You
It
demolish
just
it.
completely just demolishes it when you hit it with that sword.
So I give this sword 2 quick spins when I take it out. And as I'm riding by on my snowboard, I just like I come by with a slide, and there's just this ringing of like as I pass by the snowman, and as I like hit my snowboard into a slide, so like the snow flies up in front of me, and then sort of look back. It's like that thing where like for a split second, you're not sure if I hit it or not, and then the head just like slowly rolls off and hits the ground and starts like rolling away from the body.
Yep, and it is not moving, so move and attack on you. So Donner, you're still riding in the passenger side of the vehicle. What would you like to do? Is one of these things tried to ram y'all, but it fell down in the ice and snow itself.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about him. He's in perfect crushing position for the car. But the other one that took a shot at us, I'm going to lean out the window and fire 2 shots at him.
All right.
For the action there. Cool. That was a miss on the first shot. Hey, 1 hit for the second shot, or 1 success.
Yeah, you do some
5.
damage to it that's shot at you that's Mickey's going to try to ram. But you see it's still standing, but you did do some damage to it. So
Actually, yeah,
speaking about
that's
Mickey,
it for him.
All right. So the one. Which one was it? Was it the one that fell into the snowbank or the one that shot
no,
us?
he shot the one that you're fixing to try to ram, is my understanding.
Yeah, but I can't remember which one that was.
That's the far on the left.
The far left. Okay, but he's not the one that fell into the snow.
Nope,
that was the
no.
middle guy. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, I've got the pedal to metal in this thing, so I'm just gonna come in and just try and ram the shit out of it.
All right.
So that's a driving test, and if successful, I do 1d3 damage.
Yep.
So driving test, I got 1 success. And for damage, I scored 2 damage.
What is a Slayer? What have you done to the Slayer to make it just completely blow this one all to pieces then?
Well, like we said before, we've welded essentially what looks like the big cattle grates that you see on the big trucks right on the front, both on the fenders. And I charged right at this thing's legs. And he fires the beam, hits the Slayer, turn the Slayer right into it, and just plow right into the legs and just hits this thing so hard with that massively powerful engine. I just cut the legs right out from underneath it, bust both the legs off, and he just falls flat. Top part of him just rolls over the top of the Slayer and tumbles into the snow. And as soon as I hit him, I'm going to jam on the brakes, and so I can try and get back around to the other one.
Yeah, and you're able to do that. The other one seems to be stuck in the ice or snow, so you can just run it over and demolish it too without any trouble.
I'll take that.
But yeah, once y'all finish them off and get off and look, sure enough, it seems that these are some type of you've heard people talk about aluminum robots that they're made out of aluminum, but I guess the snow and ice had covered over them as they traveled through. But y'all are able to take care of that little problem without any major effort.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, the Slayer made it really. Our hunk of steel is bigger than your aluminum.
So I guess when it's over, so all three of them are down, and I hop out real quick to kind of just go look at them, and I look over at Skittles and I say, how'd that blade do? How'd that sword work out?
It sliced through it like a hot knife through butter. I mean, like I wasn't even sure I'd actually hit it at first. It almost felt like I was just cutting straight through air the whole time.
Well, he did say it would be useful. I guess he wasn't lying.
Maybe he's one of those. I've heard out in the wasteland that some of them mutants they can like see the future. Maybe he was like a mutant. Maybe he had like some of those telekinetic powers or whatever they call them.
Who knows? So I look over.
Sorry, go ahead. Bad.
No, I was gonna say I'm just gonna go look over the robots and see if there's anything useful on them that we can take off.
No, y'all have completely demolished them enough between the Slayer and the candy cane sword. There's nothing you find nothing of any value or anything there at all that can be salvaged.
Okay.
Stop looking at each other.
Donner, though, I need you since you used your weapon. Donner, roll me a ammo usage die.
Oh, yep. Oh yeah, I'm in the clear. Roll the six.
All right, good.
This time.
Yeah, y'all are able to do that and continue on to your way and go to the first enclave of the day. But let's take us about a 5-minute bio break and we'll come back and see what happens on day 2 then.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Excellent.
I'm back.
All right, I'm back.
Me too.
I pulled a Daniel. I had to make me some hot tea.
Apologies for the. My puppy is literally afraid of the dark. I have to go out there with a flashlight.
Well, I just sat down myself. I told Chris I had to pull a Daniel and make me a cup of hot tea.
Oh,
Yeah, I just had to go use the restroom real quick, so I've been back for a little while.
yeah. My dog will not leave the light of the porch unless I go out with a flashlight to let him see that the yard is safe.
Nice.
Huh.
Oh, that Slayer is an awesome car. It puts the sleigh back in sleigh bells.
Yeah, James did a pretty good job on this adventure overall.
Yeah, James Spawn he's great. He's done some really great stuff. I'm a big fan of White Star.
Yeah, somebody's supposed to
Actually,
be running White Star for us.
Oh yeah, I have that one game. I don't know. I have like, it's one of those things where it's like I have so many ideas that like swirl around my head. I'll probably eventually run that module, but I don't know. I like running my own like ideas and stuff. I mean, I like running modules too because I mean, obviously people who make modules are better at coming up with stuff than I am, but and they get paid for it. But I don't know. I like running my own ideas and stuff a lot.
I was going to say, yeah, Joseph, you like White Star because I've got a bunch of adventures I've written up for it, but we've never had played them. But yeah, we'll keep you in mind though for some of them.
Heck yeah. I bought I've got the White Star, and then he put the supplement out. But then the new big collected one came out, the Galaxy Edition, so I went and bought that too. I like to support the indie guys.
I went and got me. I don't know if you can see this very good, but I went and got. I got a friend at a local print shop. He made me a coil bound copy of the Galaxy Edition for me. You know, you can easily open up and flat.
right? And lay flat. That's like the biggest benefit.
Yeah. Yeah, I love coil book. Like, I don't understand why like regular books don't tend to be like coils. I mean, they're like coils are awesome.
Right. I'm a big fan of supporting all like the indie publishers and like the smaller presses because I want them to, it's all selfish because I want them to keep making content.
Well, in all seriousness, most of the small publishers and creators and stuff, I find their stuff is pretty much top notch, more so than the, your bigger companies. I think.
I've been watching this. This girl on YouTube. I sent you one of her videos, Tony.
About the thieves' camp.
Yeah. She has another one out now about the Druid language and the way she runs it, or she wants to run it. Anyway, she has a lot of good ideas on her channel. But one thing she's talking about is she has like a DM, she gets a binder, and she has like a DM's binder. It's kind of like a DM screen in a way. And I'm thinking about trying to get me like some binders. And it's
I think I watched her channel.
Like her most important things in these binders. So that way she has like a quick reference to all the rules when she needs them, and all that. So I think I'm gonna get me a few binders and some dividers and just make me up some binder. Yeah, and so for Christmas, I don't have my webcam up right now. But see, I think what she was saying is a really good idea. Not for Christmas, but like a while back, Daniel sent me some stuff in the mail after he got back from Comic-Con, and one of the things he sent me is he had printed out all of the BX the BX expert and the basic rules, and he put all of them in a binder. But he put all the rules together, like he grouped them together. So if you turn to where the spells are, like you have the BX spells and everything first, and then right after that you have from the expert book all the spells. So like all the spells are just right there together. And it's just like, it's been so useful. Like when I run BX, I keep this thing right next to me when I run BX games because I can just so easily go like, oh, okay, you need to like do that, flip over. Okay, that's all the rules on this certain thing I need to know right there. So I can see the benefit of doing that. Like if I don't have my webcam or I would show it off. But yeah, it's really neat. It's just a 3-ring binder and you put all the pages in it. And just put all the rules next together to each other, and it's just coming so much, such handy. Like he has like the monster, monster hit die like chart, and the character attack chart like right there next to each other. So you can just see all the ACs all at once and stuff.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, it's really helpful. And then he has all the saving throws right here, and on the next page it's all the weapons and the damage that they do. And then if you flip over, there's the weapons in their range.
Huh.
So yeah, very useful, very cool.
Rush, you back? I saw him for a minute, but I think he jumped up again.
Yeah, I think he did too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to play some White Star soon then, because I like it.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. I can't wait for him to run Coriolis again. He keeps promising he will, and then he keeps not.
Yeah, science fiction is like my first love.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You'll have to, we're trying out that Ghost Star game Sunday. I'm going to run that Ghost Star Sunday, and you'll have to try to get one of them. I like it. I like the premise, the setting that he come up with and stuff. It's a very simple system.
Yeah, when I first saw it posted up in the group, I had to go and take a look, and it definitely looks pretty awesome. If I wasn't already doing a game on Sunday, I would have been in that one.
Yeah, because I was even thinking about taking his setting and the way he's come up with his setting and just use White Star. Run it. You could run it in any system really. But
yeah.
All right, Rush, you ready?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's fine. We're just talking about White Star and other white box games anyway.
No, it's not okay. If you're late again, don't even want
Jinx begin.
Give him the sword.
Yeah.
Give him the candy cane.
yeah. says the person that's always late on Friday games.
It's all right.
All right, we're going to start out day 2 as y'all pick up the pieces of aluminum. You know, aluminum's not bringing very much. It's about 2 cents a pound, probably. So,
Okay.
in the Wastelands. But you start out day 2. Tell us,
Wait.
Mickey. What is it, Crystal?
I'm like, we still use like money currency in the Wasteland.
You use I don't forgot what they call it in Tiny Wasteland. There's something clicks. Is it clicks? I don't
Oh
remember.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. All
But
right.
I could see, I can see trading and bartering stuff, you know. But aluminum, aluminum
Well, I
not
guess
much.
technically currency is just any agreed upon thing that like everyone, like in the Fallout games, video games, like they use bottle caps. So.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, but anyway. All right, Mickey, tell us what enclave we're going to visit today. First.
So, this time, as we head on down the road, we come across it's actually a it's an enclave in the truest form. It's a collection of farmsteads, where, say, probably 4 houses. Each house has a family. They're somewhat prosperous. They've figured out what many people in the Wasteland haven't, which is that working together brings prosperity. And so these folk work together. They got 2 people that plant crops. They got one that takes care of doing chickens, one that takes care of doing other types of livestock. So you've got crops that will help to feed the livestock grow. They use the manure to help fertilize the ground. Just, you know, they get the cycle going. So as a result, both the crops and the livestock are both more productive than other farmsteads that try to operate on their own. And so they're able to actually produce decent amounts of food. They're able to trade it with people. And in the good spirits of survival, they trade, but the trade is always fair. And in fact, sometimes when they come across some of the other enclaves that are suffering, they'll even trade in a way that's not fair, but not fair to themselves, in the interest of keeping everybody well fed. So because it's 4 different houses, 4 different families, the families are prosperous. There's several kids, probably 3 generations living in each farmstead. So you've got, you know, kids, grandkids. There's plenty of wee ones here to choose from. So we would roll the Slayer in with gifts for all these wee ones, and that would be the farming enclave that we would come to first.
Yeah, and they don't have much to tell you. I mean, it's, you know, they talk about how bitter cold it is. It seems to be this winter colder than the rest, and they're hoping the old farmer's almanac is true, that the springs will be warm and the growing season will be great. But they don't have anything really new to tell you. And if you ask about the red line or the red beam, none of them have mentioned seeing it or anything at all. There's nothing new at all.
I would also ask him if have you seen a man that looks like the Nick?
Yeah, and when you say that, you know, they kind of chuckle and laugh because is the Nick looks like, you know, and they all say, no, we haven't seen anybody. He's one of a kind, you know.
All right.
I would chuckle a bit.
Have you seen anyone calls himself SK wandering around?
Big fella.
A big fella named SK? No, he hadn't been here.
Interesting. Well, he did say he kind of keeps to himself.
That's true. That's true.
All right.
Donner, if nothing else happens here, tell us what enclave we're going to next to deliver drop off some gifts.
All right. So the next one down the line is at one point it was some type of a refinery or some processing plant of some kind. Just some large iron structure, tanks that used to be used for something, but now it's home to all of these various peoples. They're not the most hospitable bunch, but they've learned over the last couple years of these delivery runs being made around this time of year that we mean them no harm. So they're open to actually letting us speak with them and drop things off. But it's just some great big steel structure kind of lit up periodically.
While we're here at this military type structure, I'll regale them all with our tale of the blizzard that we killed, and I'll show off the tooth that we reclaimed from it.
Yeah, no, not quite military. More like if you ever geez, you guys are nowhere near California. They say there's spots where they're just like an industrial kind of plant, like maybe they used to be borax processing or ammonia processing, just big steel girders and such, like a very, very industrial. But now it's livable. Nobody remembers what it used to be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and they don't have any news to share with you either. I mean, everything's been, they say, pretty quiet. I mean, of course, everyone's talking about how much colder it is this winter, but nothing else really new.
Have you seen any metal snowmen around?
No, I hadn't seen no metal snowman. They don't bring much money anyway. If you had it.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw some weird snowmen out on the road.
Yeah, and they look at you and whisper to each other. No wonder they call her crazy.
And, aside to the other guys, both Skittles and Mickey, well, at least I haven't seen those good lights. They had me feeling a bit cautious. So that's good news. I would take it.
Yeah, things are just quiet on this side of the mountain. Nothing much goes on here. We're ready for winter to be over, though.
Well, this too shall pass. You can't have the sweet without the sour.
I wish I had a can of apple pie filling.
Sour Skittles. I haven't had some of those in forever.
It's funny you should mention that. Sadly, I have none to give, but a while back, a few days, we actually did come across some apple pie filling. It went to some wee orphans back a ways. I'll keep it in mind for you next time.
Yeah, at first they look a little discouraged or a little bit, upset with you giving it away, but then after you mention it goes to an orphanage, they kind of lighten up some.
I promise the next can I find is yours.
Skittles, what is the next enclave we're going to visit? And tell me about the icy lake that is next to it.
Place that we're going is finally the place where some of my friends and family are. It used to be a ski resort, but now they've kind of reinforced it a little bit. I mean, the terrain itself is kind of this natural. It's easy to see out because it's mostly just snow and stuff, like flat grounds. But yeah, and people moved into this old ski resort-like area, and they got the lifts so that they can go up and down the mountains easy again, and they still basically use it sort of as a tourist attraction to help bring in a little bit of revenue on this mountain. You know, so the people who actually own it, they're not too bad when it comes to clicks and everything. But I kind of have friends and family up on this resort, you know, so they kind of hook me up and let me, like, you know, kind of skate around and stuff for free whenever I come up to visit during the winters. Or at the very least, give me like a small discount.
Yeah, I mean, they would let you skate on lake, I would think.
Yeah, so once we deliver these toys and everything, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get on my ice skates and I'm gonna go out ice skating as soon as we deliver these toys to this lodge.
Yeah, you can do that as Mickey, as you and Donna, you know, probably get some fresh food and drink. And you would know there's one more enclave that you have to deliver to before the day's up. And, you know, that's the last one before you head back to your own. Any specific questions or anything for the people here while your friends ice skating?
Certainly. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, man. Yeah, you were first.
All right. So, you guys haven't seen anything strange, like red flashes in the sky? Nothing like that?
You know, the adults, when you ask them, all the adults say no, but one of the kids runs up about 6 or 7 and says, I saw some a couple of nights ago that they were going across the sky, but they stopped.
Oh. You happen to see which way they were going there, laddie?
He points back totally opposite direction of where y'all come from, like say if y'all come from the east, he points back towards the west.
Oh, that's a big helpful one right there. Thank you kindly. And gives him a little like tussle of the hair. You going back to the fire and keep yourself warm there. And I'd relay that back to the others. Just seem to be behind us now.
Okay, who seemed? And I'm sorry, there was noise in the background here. Who was it that seems to be behind us?
Oh, those red flashes. We seem to have passed them. They're all. Sorry, did you catch that?
I got red. Yeah, seem to be back past us now.
You froze up, Rush. He hit his time limit on that problem he has.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
wow, that is so strange.
Yeah, he's frozen here too. It's either that net problem or possible storm over that area.
I don't know, but like I haven't wanted to say anything, but like his background chatter is so loud, it's like right in my ear. But
yeah,
I mean,
I think they're all so close together.
I can't really say much because I mean I've had so much background noise. My boss, so like at work, he likes to contact me on this like conference thing he has. But the headset that I had at work that had a microphone, it broke, and so he ended up like buying me like a brand new headset with like a mic, like it's like one of those like nice ones where it's specifically made for talking and stuff. But it didn't have like a split to go with it. I was like, oh well, it won't work. It doesn't have a split, like because it only had like one cord.
Right.
And so he came in the next day and was like, here, will this work? And he had like a really nice split to go with it. Like he was gonna make sure that I was gonna fucking talk to him. I've been thinking about bringing that headset home on the weekends so I can game with it. Because like I said, it's specifically meant for speaking. Like even if there's like background noise on the other end, like this headset will do its best to like cancel it out. So like the direct voice in front is what you can hear, and then
Huh.
the microphone is made for like it's like directed in front of like your mouth. So like any noise on the other side, like it has a hard time getting through.
You made it back, Mickey?
Yeah, but if it holds as true, it may happen again in about 5 minutes, and then I'll be good for the next hour.
Yeah.
So yeah, I heard the red flashes behind us, and Mickey was like, sorry about that, guys. Mickey was like, well, if they're back behind us, I don't think we need to worry about them right now. Let's just get this delivery done, and then we can be concerned about that on the way back down the mountain.
That's true. We'll keep our eyes out when we head back. Got at least this one more delivery to go.
Yeah, and y'all would know the next village you're going to. The name of it is Chris Kringle Village, and it, usually y'all make your delivery there, and you stay the night there with the village, and leave the next morning to go back to your enclave.
It's a fitting final stop.
I would say.
Are you guys sure we can't stay here for the night? Because I mean, they're having one last ski session, and I mean, I would like to beat them down the mountain and everything. All right, fine, we can go.
Yeah, we've got the children to think about.
Yeah, but I promise when we get done, we'll head straight back here. Might even hang out for 2 days, just for you.
Oh, wow. That would be incredible. I might teach you how to snowboard, Mickey.
Maybe a little old for that one, but we'll see. And then I'll load up the Slayer.
Yeah, y'all get on the road going to Chris Kringle Village and get there, roughly an hour or so before dark, are able to unload the last of the gifts and things you take to them. The so-called mayor there, his name is Randy. Man, it's been awful cold this winter. Has it been cold from where y'all come from?
All the way up the mountain.
You better believe it.
It's been cold everywhere, Randy. Unusually cold.
Yeah.
Probably all those metal snowmen.
Yeah, we take pieces of aluminum and we build up them, and make them look real pretty. And then we put snow all around them. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Kind of like that, except with like murderous tendencies.
Yeah.
Close, but not quite.
The ones we saw shot cold death rays at us. Hey, by the way, did I recover 1 HP? Or am I still hurt?
It's still the same day, so you haven't rested.
Okay.
So you're still hurt. One down.
All right.
Yeah, when you mention that to him about the murderous tendencies and all that, he starts chuckling and laughing, and he's a very large, rotund fellow, and he goes, "Well, all the bad kids though, they get Krampus. They don't get Santa."
Krampus. What the fuck are you talking about?
You never read that story before? Krampus knock and all that? Come on.
Are you talking about that legend in the Civil War?
No, this one's like he's like the Anti-Claus. Something about eating children. Only the bad ones.
I heard something in the Civil War one time. Some crazy writings from some officer about a something in the woods that was like taking children or something. I don't know. It was a weird report for sure.
Yeah, that was the Civil War of 2342, where that guy was running around in a cape and a shield, calling himself Captain America, trying to take over stuff. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. That was weird. They had there was some guy called Super D Duper or something like that, who
Yeah,
loves talking about like, justice.
he was crazy. You know, he was one of those crazies.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Aren't you a little old to believe in fairy tales?
Well, I mean, sometimes that's all you have, to keep your spirits going.
Oh my!
Yeah, and Randy and in the group here, they always welcome y'all every year, and they have this big, huge table. Like, think of this big, huge first Thanksgiving table all set up with all this different food where you can eat and drink and be merry and do whatever as the evening ends.
Well, I'm gonna take part in that once the toys are divvied out.
I'll carve the roast beef.
With the sword?
Of course.
I have never been known to turn down free food.
Yeah, and as night starts to encompass, before it starts getting too late. Of course, this is a pretty large enclave. They have a wood palisaded walls and everything that goes around to protect the outside. And, they have torches lit everywhere. One of the children, one of the girls, about probably 7 or 8, she runs up to the table where y'all are and everyone is. And she says, "There's a monster at the gate. A monster."
Good. At what gate?
The main gate.
Oh hell yeah! I'm there. Don't worry about it, kid. I'm gonna grab my snowboard and off I go.
Stay inside and keep the other kids with you.
Yeah. I tell her to grab the other kids, get inside and grab the other kids, and tell them to get inside with you. And I lock and load the Red Rider.
Yeah, as you three go towards the gate, and then Randy says, "I'll grab some of the city guards, and yeah, we'll be there in just a moment." You tell he's freaked out.
Oh, you feel free to take your time. We'll handle this.
So
as you three make your way to the gate where the little girl was pointed out, there's no guards on duty. I mean, there's nothing ever happens here. But you make your way, the air and everything starts changing. It's much colder. There's more snow that is coming down now, even more heavier snow. You're still able to get vision and see. But as you make your way to the gate and look outside the gate, approaching the village, this is what you will see.
Oh, shit.
And this thing stands about 15 foot tall as it's moving its way through the snow. It's a great black-furred goat-looking beast, eyes of blazing red fire. It's walking on these cloven hooven legs. And you see it holding this huge sword. It seems to be almost burning, almost red glowing, and you see ice dripping off of the sword. And it's walking towards the gate.
As I approach the gate, I'll I want to get okay, can I stop close enough to this thing so that when I push bring my snowboard around, I can fling snow up on it?
It would take you it's probably 50, 60 foot from the actual gate itself. So, I mean, it's a ways away. You're not going to be able to do it the first. You're not going to be able to get right directly in front of it the first time.
Okay. I tell you what, I'm just gonna move halfway up to it, and then I will sort of cut around and start just kind of I guess sort of circling it, but I'm not gonna get too close to it. I'm gonna get about halfway to where I could reach it with a melee, and I guess just stay right outside the range of it. You know what I mean? How it talks about the 3 zones in the book, the close, long, So I'm gonna stay within or right outside if I can a range attack.
Yeah, so you're not wanting to move up close enough to engage it, right?
Yeah, not yet, not yet.
All right.
But I'll say, like I wanna move up close enough that I can use one action to move again and get within the way.
Yeah, the first thing we need to know before we roll initiative is we'll start with you, Skittles. The sword, you start get the tingling feeling from this sword again as you're holding it, and it starts the maroon reddish gray on it starts kind of glowing. I mean, you get a feeling from this sword, and you first recall that note about this may come in handy as you're holding the sword. The next thing, since I'm such of a nice GM, and I'm not going to go completely by what the module says, I'm going to allow Donner, you and Mickey, your weapons. You just get a strange aura about this thing. Any attacks you make with any weapon y'all have will be at disadvantage, so only 1d6.
Oh.
It actually the module reads where y'all's weapons wouldn't work at all, but I'm going to be nice.
Okay. Can we, are we able to aim? If we take an action aiming, can we get back to 2 dice, or is it just disadvantage all the way through?
It's going to be for y'all two on this one. It'll be disadvantage the whole way through.
Okay, cool.
So everybody roll initiative, and I'll get what you have here in just a moment.
I got 10.
10 for Mickey. How about Donner?
I'm on a 5 this time.
All right. And what about Skittles?
8.
Mickey, all this is going on as you're standing at the gate. This thing's 60 foot away from you. And you see Skittles starting to pray what she wants to do. But you're up first, Mickey.
Okay. So my next question is going to be, will my mantle of center claws help me with the attacks on this?
Only if it goes after children, I believe, right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's right. I forgot about that little detail. Okay. Well, so I'm standing right there, so I'm just going to kind of shout to him. I said, well, somebody's definitely been on the naughty list, and I'm just going to crack off 2 shots at disadvantage. Let's see if we can just hopefully start wearing this guy down. 2 shots. All right, so on disadvantage, I rolled 2 shots and 1 hits.
1 hits, okay.
Yep, I got a 5.
And you can tell for sure when your shot hits this thing. I mean, you've used your weapon enough to know, but you just feel something about this thing. It doesn't damage as much as you would think, but yeah, you do some damage to it.
All right.
You see it keep walking and moving towards the village gate. It hasn't let out any kind of voice or any kind of scream or anything, but you see each step it takes. When it steps in the ice and snow just melts. But then when it continues on, it seems that ice and snow just comes back into it as it's moving. It rolled a 9, so it continues moving towards the gate at this time. Let me see if it's going to do anything else. Nope, that's all it's going to do at this point. It's moving straight towards the gate, walking on unfazed as we're up to you, Skittles. It's probably, we'll say, 30 feet from you now, Skittles, so you could have to use 1 action if you wanted to get straight up to it.
So, I mean, like, this thing hasn't actually attacked us yet, or anyone, right?
Not yet, it hasn't.
I mean, like, but I get, like, a bad feeling from it or something?
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely, yeah. You get a bad feeling from...
I mean, I just want to make sure, because, I mean, like, it's one of the things where it's like, well, it hasn't attacked anyone yet, you know? So...
This one catches bullets on looks alone.
So I'm going to say, hey, Beast, Belle isn't here. Why don't you go back to the mansion? And as I say this, I'm going to, I guess, as the first action, ride up to him. And then as my second action, take a swing with my my sword.
All right.
2 successes, 2 6.
All right, so you damage into it with this sword, and when this sword slices into part of the old nasty looking, you can tell like some of the flesh appears to be, it has like this homemade armor, but his own has got almost human skins. It seems it's made out of, but you penetrate through that, and it just lets out this roar yell. You can tell you did some damage to it though.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good. All right. Oprah's book of the month is blank.
And we're up to you, Donner, as all this is happening.
All right, yeah, he's got that stop sign shield out front and advancing on the thing, popping a couple shots off with the with his pistol there. Ooh. So I'm going to do one move and one attack, or moving closer to the thing.
Here you go.
Oh, and that shot swings wide. Missed with a 3.
Yeah, how close did you want to get? You probably moved right up next to it. Or do you want to get? How far do you want to get?
Only close about half the distance.
All right,
Kind
that
of
works.
yeah, in between Mickey and the Beast. You know, not all the way up to it, but advancing.
Sounds good. We go back to you, Mickey, as all this is transpiring.
So we're standing at the gate. Are we down on the ground?
Yeah, you're on the ground level.
Mickey is going to actually turn and run at a full sprint back to the Slayer.
Yeah, I'll say probably to get it, and if you want to get it going and stuff, it takes both actions this time to do it, if you want to do that.
So I can get to it and get it fired up?
Yep.
All right, cool. That's what I'm going to do. So as Skittles is cuts into this thing and Donner's advancing with his shield and taking a wild shot at it, you guys all of a sudden hear this as the engine fires up on the Slayer.
Yeah.
I hope he lets the engine warm up. I'd hate for him to blow a gasket.
Oh, the Slayer's cold-blooded. She'll be fine.
We go to this creature who looks down towards you, Skittles, as you've snowboarded up towards it and done some damage. It just takes its hands and its claws and just try to drive straight into you.
Okie dokie.
And it will do it with 2 5s. You'll take 2 points of damage instead of 1 from this thing. It just drives into you.
A story of
I don't get a chance to block or anything.
That's
Do
amazing.
you have any kind of trait?
Oh, no. I didn't know if I thought I had a chance to dodge it or something.
That's you have to.
You'd have to do evade. You'd have to do evade, or if you had another trait that you could use, but if you don't have any of those, no.
No, it's fine.
Evade is something you have to state you're doing during your turn, I think.
Yeah, it's one of your actions. You can use evade if you want to as an action, but
I don't have any actions left right now.
Yeah.
speaking of those Skittles, as it drives into you, cutting into you now, it's up to you.
All right. Yeah, I'll kind of scream out in pain with that one because that hurt. And I'll just I'll be going around it with my snowboard and go, that hurt, you bloody hooker, and I'll slash at it with my weapon.
All right.
I got 2 1s.
Oh no.
So
yeah, you
The
missed
dice are cold.
as you miss the thing. It is going to use one of its trait and swing towards you with a claw at disadvantage, and it will miss you.
Hey, wait. Lucky. I may reroll one test per session.
Yep. Do you want to use it now or not?
Yeah, I mean, I just rolled those double ones, so yeah, I'd like to use it on that swing.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, and I got a 6-5 this time.
All right.
So
You see the sword cuts into it.
it's like this moment where I fall and you see me take this huge dive, but all of a sudden there's this bank of snow and my snowboard just catches it perfectly, and I just do this spin hop over the thing as my sword comes down, just slices its back, and I land and just do a hands up, and I'm just hell yeah, woo!
Perfect. Donner, I guess we're up to you next then.
Still, again, only closing about half the distance left. I'm not close to it. And funny enough, we were talking about evade. My 2 actions, actually, no, not moving. I'm just, so I can take the 2 here. I'm going to fire 1 shot and use the other for an evade if I need it.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, I had
actions,
one.
Do what, Crystal? I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry. I was trying to say before, but I had 1 action left, and I'm going to evade as well with that.
All right.
With that
All
one.
Awesome. Yeah, so my 1 shot actually hits this time. Uno pistolero shotto.
Yeah, the same thing with your pistol. You know, you've shot stuff before with it. You know that it seems like it doesn't do as much as what you're used to, just to kind of flavor that in. But we're back up to you, Mickey. You've got the beast, the Slayer, ready to go.
So I'm going to jam the accelerator to the floor and just make an attempt to just, I mean, if I was able to run from where I was back, I should be able to close the distance, I would think, and hit him this round, or is it going to take?
I'm going to say, you know, since you're not on foot, I mean, you're driving the Slayer, I'm going to say it's going to cost 1 action to ram into him if you want to.
All right. So can I, as I'm approaching, can I spend another action to like lean my? Oh, I can't do that because the errata specifically says that a heavy ranged weapon requires 2 hands to shoot, so I can't do that. All right. Yeah. So I'm going to ram it.
All right.
I was going to try to lean the rifle out the window one-handed and squeeze off a shot. I mean, I was already at disadvantage, but it does specifically say that a heavy ranged weapon requires 2 hands. So that's a driving test. And I got a 5 and a 2. So that's a successful driving test. And I rolled a 6. So that should be, unless he's got something to block it down, it should be 3 damage.
Yeah, you ram the Slayer into him as maybe part of the horns or something fall off of it, but you knock it down some for sure.
I mean, like, I was around this thing, right? So, like, did he risk hitting me?
No, that's why I take the driving test.
Oh.
If I fail the driving test, and it's up to Tony what kind of horrible shit can happen.
You would have been able to move enough out of the way. You're still close by it, but no, you're out of the way.
Plus, you would have heard it coming.
Yeah. I'll just say I jump up and like grind down the hood.
Yeah.
Or not the hood, over the roof. I do like a snowboard over the roof.
All right,
let's see this creature.
Those are the jingle bells. You heard it come.
This creature, let me see what he's going to do. Well, that's what I figured. He's concentrated on use Skittles for some reason, even though this vehicle just rammed into him. So he's going to swing out with you with these claws and stuff again. And hit you, and you'll take 2 points of damage from that. So it claws into you again.
This big car just slams into the back of him. He turns around and says, "Hey, who threw that Frisbee?" And then proceeds to slice at me. All right, 2 points of damage.
Yep, 2 points of damage from it.
All
and
right.
we're up to you, Skittles. Wait, you used on evade, so roll 1d6. That's right, you use evade, so roll. You get to test 1d6, see if you get a 5 or 6.
6.
Perfect. You don't take any damage in.
All right, nice.
So your evade's over, but it's up to you
All
for
right,
your
I
turn.
found my weighted dice, so I know which one to use.
Nice.
All right, so. All right, so it's up to me again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna say like, oh, dude, I got an idea. All right, I'm gonna say, Mickey, pull a donut, and what I want to try and do is lasso the horns around the hood of the car, so that when he starts spinning, the cord will like wrap around this monster and like wrap him up.
Yeah. You can try to do that. I'll say take both your actions to do it, but yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay. Do I need to Do I need to roll for for lassoing the thing?
Yeah, roll just 2d6.
Would this count as an insane risk?
You know what? I'm going to say it would. So 3d6.
Okay. Nice. All right, and these are my weighted dice, so hopefully. Holy shit! 6, 6, 5.
All right, you do it perfectly then. So you've got this thing wrapped up with a rope or what?
Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm kind of like tossing the cord so that it's kind of like flying over this beast and it's hitting the lassoing around the hood of the car, like the antlers or the rack or whatever. And then I yell for Mickey to spin around, to do a donut. So when he pulls when he starts spinning around the car, like this cord will start wrapping the monster up because like it's acting as like a lever. You get what I mean?
Yeah,
to wrap the monster up.
Sounds perfect. You've got it going in process right now.
It's in the thing, and then I don't know, maybe he'll have to do a drive test or whatever next time, unless he just does it now.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll have to.
Donner, what would you like to do as you see this going on?
I think Donner's just gonna kind of stay where he's at, out of the way of the vehicle and the swords and everything. I'm just gonna pop 2 more shots.
All right.
The safety back here. Oh yeah, I'm not hitting nothing.
And you're still how far did you say you wanted to be away?
At least clear of the car. I'm probably 15, 20 feet or so back.
Yeah. As you do that, and this thing catches a glance at you, maybe hearing the shots, it's going to use a trait to try to do something to you at disadvantage. It's going to miss with a 2. So we're back up to you, Mickey.
All right, so hearing Skittles' plan and not trusting it any further than he could throw it, but also realizing that Skittles always seems to come through in times like this. So after he hits this creature and he sees the lasso go around the front, he's going to pull the brake, hit the gas, turn the wheel, and start trying to do essentially what is a drift donut in a circle. I'm assuming what we're aiming for is doing the snow speeder Star Wars maneuver. Only I'm going to be going sideways, drifting around this thing. So I am going to make a wild assumption here that I'm going to need to make a driving test.
Yeah, do a driving test, and take both actions to continue to do this. Yeah.
All right. So is it just a regular driving test or?
Yeah, just 2d6 or whatever, unless you have something.
No. All right, here we go. Shit. I got a 3 and a 4.
Aww.
Well, you're still trying to get it wrapped up, though. You're doing your best. This creature is going to. Let me see. Yep, I know what he's going to do. A 5 and a 4, so he does it. All 3 of y'all will take 1 point of damage. It just seems like the air and everything just gets bitter, even colder and stuff as you start feeling the effects of the cold around all of you. So everybody suffers 1 point of damage.
Literally,
Skittles, we're back to you now.
All right. Yeah, Skittles will say no, not that way, the other way. and I guess that she's still holding this cord that he hasn't noticed yet or hasn't done anything with yet. She'll go ahead and slice at this thing with her sword.
All right.
And I got a 5, 6, so 2 successes.
All right, so you hit it.
And I'll use my other action to evade if it tries to hit at me.
All right, perfect. Donner, you feel this cold chill come over you and.
Ooh, yeah. Man. Yeah, I'm still. Donner's hesitant about getting closer, seeing the car start to whip around. So I'm staying clear, and despite the fact that he can sense that the shots are a little ineffective, he's just going to try and plug away again.
All right.
Oh, wow. Snake eyes.
Oh, wow. You better put those OSR dice in the.
Your dice hate you.
I know. This is their first game. Like, I just got out of mail last week. I was so excited for the OSR dice, and they are awful.
Put them in
They're
dice
rated
game.
for really low
You better
dice.
not. You better not tell any of the admins in the OSR that.
Oh no, it's just I don't think they're actually related to the OSR group. They're just the dice. They suck.
Mickey, we're back to you now.
So I'm gonna try to keep. All right. So I hear where Skittles yells, "Not that way, the other way," and I holler out the window, say, "I'm not a goddamn stunt driver, you fucking tot!" Throw the wheel back the other way and jam it and start trying and following directions and see if I can get him wrapped up here. So make another driving test here, and this time we get a 5 and a 1. So I got 1 success.
Yeah, you're able to start going the right way as you're trying to get this thing wrapped up then. It is going to. Oh, heck. That worked before, so to do it again. Yep. Everybody else take 1 more point of damage as the cold just gets colder and starts coming over y'all. And Skittles, we're back to you.
Is this thing being wrapped up now?
It is in the process of being wrapped up.
Nice. So I guess I'll continue to hold the rope as it's starting to get colder, and I guess I'll just fucking stab the thing.
All right.
I don't want to cut the rope, so wherever the rope's not wrapping at, I just stab it right there, or attempt to. Oh, 6-5. Telling you, these are my weighted dice.
Yep, you do some damage to it with the candy cane sword.
Okay. And then and my second action is evade.
Yeah, but a minute ago you was on evade, so roll that evade for what it did just a minute ago. You didn't roll. Did you roll evade for it?
Oh, I didn't. Nope, I didn't. I didn't know I could. I thought it was just like a psychic thing. I got a 2 anyway.
All right. And didn't you, Donner, didn't you have evade going also?
No, I fired 2 shots.
Oh, that's right. You hit it the round before. That's right. Okay. Skittles, you get that done. So, Donner, we are back to you now.
All right. So, realizing his position is not great, so trying something new. As the tail of this of the Slayer comes swinging around, he's going to run and try and jump into the bed of the car to get closer into the action.
Yeah.
Nice.
I tell you what. I'm gonna give you a choice. You can either roll 2d6 to do that, and you'll still have an action left, or you can use both actions to do that. That's a pretty nifty stunt.
Ooh, we'll try to have another action. So, come on. Oh, this is dangerous here. Nope, I actually got it. 1 and a 6.
All right. You're in the back of the Slayer.
I see that acrobatic stunt, and I'm like, damn, maybe I need to get some lessons from him.
Right? Well, Donner's actually taking lessons from you. He's, just, oh, bloody hell. Makes the dive and pops up, scooping the tarp up, kind of uncovering some of the gifts and stuff there, and getting ready to try and throw that over the beast, trying to wrap him up or blind him or some such.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to try and scoop him in the tarp.
Yeah, try that. I'm going to let you have 2d6 on this, though, doing that, so you're not really using a weapon. That's a good idea.
All right. Oh, no, it didn't happen this time. But I made it in the back of the car.
Did you roll a 1 by chance?
No, a pair of 3s.
All right, good enough. I won't be mean then. Mickey.
So I'm wrapping him up. I guess I'm gonna make another driving test to see if I can. I don't know how many times I gotta.
Well, are you wanting to? This will be your last time to wrap them up if you success.
Okay. 6 and a 1.
All right. You've got them pretty wrapped up. You think pretty good.
All right. So is that gonna be? Is that drive test gonna be 2 actions or 1?
Yeah, I'm gonna say to wrap them up completely would be both of them again.
Okay. So I know what I'm gonna do then next time.
This creature has about had enough of you, Skittles. So he's going to slam a claw back. Try to slam a claw back into you.
I mean, is his claws not wrapped up or anything? I mean, we've been wrapping them up.
This thing is 15 foot tall. With you gotta think how big it is.
Yeah. We've got him immobile, but he can probably still get an arm out.
All right.
He had 2 6s and a 2. So Skittles, you'll take 2 points of damage.
I'm on evade.
That's right. So roll a d6.
1. Oh, my dice have betrayed me.
So you'll take 2 points of damage from him clawed into you.
All right, that would knock me down to 0, 1 HP. So because of my die hard, I instead drop to 1.
Yep, perfect.
All right, so yeah, so like you see him drive these claws into me, and like I kind of take a knee, and like blood just starts like pouring off of me into the snow. And as he rips his claws back, it looks like he probably thinks he got me for a second. And I just wipe a little of the blood off my shoulder, and I taste it and go, "You shouldn't have done that. You done made me mad now."
Yep, and it's up to you, Skittles.
Yeah, I'm gonna charge at this thing and just lay into it. I'll just both of my attacks, both of my actions, which is probably dumb because I just did that one, but first one I missed.
All right.
And second one I got a 5.
Yeah, the second one, you take a point of damage off him, but he is going to use a trait since you missed the first one and try to strike back at you, but he will miss.
Okay.
Donner, you're in the back of the Slayer and trying to control the tarp, I guess.
Yeah. New plan. Dropping the tarp. He's again taking a cue from our resident crazy. He's kind of gets himself psyched up and goes running across the car, towards the front, basically towards the beast. And I want to make a flying leap at it with the shield out to try and knock the thing over as this rope has been coiling around its legs.
Yeah.
Attempt to melee this guy.
I'm going to say it's going to cost both of your actions to do that. It's a great idea. I'll let you do it, but yeah, go for it.
All right, 2d6, 1d6.
Yep.
What am I rolling?
Yeah, that would be an improvised.
All right. Yeah, 1 and a 5.
You got a 5, you said? You froze up for me. 5, yes. All right.
Up.
You're able to topple this thing over then.
Man. Woo!
Does anyone know the
screaming the whole way? Oh Lord! Oh Lord! Ah!
Does anyone know the comic where Captain America tried to do that to Galactus? Like he was completely like he was on top of Galactus' foot and he tried to like hit his ankle with his shield. He was just completely ineffective because it was a Galactus. Anyway, I just imagine this is like the second like that's what I thought about when he's like, I have my shield up and I'm gonna ram into his ankle. I'm like, it's Captain America versus Galactus all over again.
But I can assure you, Donner feels very, very outmatched in this situation. I'm actually surprised it worked.
Yep, you're toppling this thing on the icy ground, man.
Oh,
Mickey,
man.
you see this happening as you're.
Okay, so Donner jumps off the roof of the car, hits him with the shield, and bowls this thing over on the ground, right?
Yep, this thing has been wrapped up and.
So as I'm sliding around doing this power slide donut drift maneuver around the, I guess, Krampus, for lack of a better word, once once Donner jumps off the hood of the car, I'm essentially gonna, like, I would take my foot off the gas to stop when I see the guy, and then once he hits the ground, I'm just gonna kind of grin and then stomp on the gas and just run the son of a bitch over.
You're gonna ram it? Okay.
Yep. Because I can do potentially more damage than I can with my rifle at this point. Plus, he's on the ground, so I'll make a driving test. And I got a 5 and a 3.
All right.
For 2 points of damage. Should be 2 points of damage.
Yeah, it lets out a yell, hideous yell and stuff, but it still seems to have some vigor left into it.
Sweet. So I'll hit him and just, so that should be like right there. So I'm going to go like that and just run him over. And then as I get on the other side of him, I'm going to go ahead and cut the wheel and wait for the rope to pull tight and cut the wheel so that I can fishtail around and get ready to hit him the next round.
Perfect. The creature being down on the ground and somewhat restrained is going to use his little cold snap again. And it's successful. Everybody will take 1 point of damage as the cold just radiates into you.
I miss you.
Skittles, does that put you down?
Yeah, I'm at 0.
All
So
right.
am I
nope.
dead?
No, you on your turn you get to make a save here in a minute. But
Okay.
it's let me see here because it's got a deal. Maybe yep, it's going to use something that, since you went to 0 and the other 2 are still up, and it might more cold snaps across both of you, Mickey and Donner, as this thing is trying to get off the ground. So take another point of damage.
Shit.
And Skittles, we are up to you. So make a 2d6 save.
Okay. 6 and a 1.
You are back alert next round at 1 HP.
Okay. So, like, for a second, like you see her like go like going down, like almost as if just her heart stopped, and like the rope's in her hand. It's kind of like flowing through her hand, and all of a sudden, like it hits like the guy that's tied up, so it tightens, and her head snaps back, and all of a sudden, jumpstart my heart starts playing, and her heart starts pumping again, and she pulls herself up and yells, "Reverse, reverse, reverse!"
Donner, you see your friend on the brink of death, but see her yelling, "Reverse, reverse."
Yeah, I'm actually going to jump over just to help out, kind of jump over and keep my shield up in defense of Skittles. Kind of keep myself in between her and the beast, as she's trying to recover.
And the second action I have, I'm going to evade. So I'll have him blocking me, and I'm also going to evade.
You don't get one right now, Crystal, because you were dead pretty much. So remember, you don't get nothing.
Oh, okay. So it took both actions to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, I tell you what, Donna, we'll use cover. We'll use the cover to cover yourself and her. I'm going to allow that.
Okay, cool.
I think that would work best for what you're doing.
Yeah, and that's going to be all my actions for that is just holding up for protection for the downed companion.
Yeah, that sounds
not today,
great.
Skittles. Not today.
Mickey, what would you like to do as you hear reverse yelled?
Because I used my actual, when I ran over him the first time, I actually went on ahead and fishtailed around so that the rope is now still facing at him because I waited for the rope to pull tight and then I fishtailed around. I'm going to holler out the window to Donner and say, "Grab the damn sword!" And I'm going to stomp on the gas again and try to run the son of a bitch over again.
All right.
And I got a 6 and a 3.
All right.
For 3 more points of damage. I rolled a 5.
Krampusnock had 3 points left, so tell me how you finish him off.
So I tell him to get the sword. And when I yelled at Donna to get the sword, I'm like gunning the engine, like, vroom, vroom, like that. And as Krampus starts trying to get up, and he like sits up looking with his fang maw and all this stuff, I'm just going to jam on the gas, go right at him, and then just catch his horns right in the bumper and just boom, and just run his whole upper body over. Just his horns get caught up in the grating that's welded to the front of the truck, and it just pulls his head right off. And I just drive over him again. And once the rope pulls tight, I do the same thing again, where I fishtail the El Camino back around and then get out of the truck and just kind of look at him and just really don't say much of anything. Just pull out his little cigarillo and stick it in his mouth and light it up.
About this time, Randy and the locals have come out there to help, of course,
Daughter looks up at me.
Damn it! Why didn't you listen to me? Could have reversed. I could have snowboard after it. I hit it with my sword, and now I'm just gonna fall out. I'm like exhausted.
Yeah, I'll start patching up some of those wounds actually, and looking up at the little sprig of mistletoe in the that we hang on the grill of the Slayer. Kind of just chuckle about that was one hell of a kiss.
Mickey, are you gonna dismount the horns and put on the Slayer with the rest of the horns?
You bet. Whoops. You bet your ass. That's what I'm gonna do. So, absolutely. In fact, I'm even gonna let Skittles have the honor of doing it once she gets well. Since he beat her up so bad, I'm gonna be like, "Yep, you get to dress these horns out and mount them on the Slayer."
Right. Isn't it nice?
And then after that, once we get everything back inside, I'm gonna pull out the remainder of the bottle of vodka and get Randy and the other guardsmen and just start pouring drinks for everybody. Tell them to break out their best.
Yeah. Perfect. The rest of the night goes uneventful. That pretty much wraps up the adventure that I titled Scourge, the Sleigh Ride. And it's customary in my games, as y'all know, everybody can have their ending, and then I'll tell you how it's really going to end, of course. Go backwards. Skittles. Tell me how the story ends for Skittles. Maybe not. You're muted, Crystal, if you're there.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know I was muted. That's funny because I actually said Skittles goes on to get better, and then you said maybe not, and I thought you were like interrupting my story, and I was like, maybe not, but for now, and then you were like, you're muted, and I'm like, oh.
Wow.
Okay, so for now, Skittles goes on to get better. Her heart has to get back in rhythm and everything, and because it kind of stopped there for a second. And she's talking about how she saw heaven, and it was like every kind of sport you could imagine. Like they even had they had surfing all over again, and these like big swells, and because they've never been able to surf in their world. Because most of the water is gone and everything. So she'd be at the lodge regaling them with the stories of what it was like to surf in that 1 second she was dead. Makes the whole thing up, of course. And the other thing she'll do is once she gets back down to the lodge, is she's gonna get St. Nicholas to drive her around while she has the cord tied on the hitch in the back of the Camino, and she's going to be snowboarding behind the Camino as it drags her along.
I I've done that in real life in my younger days.
Yep. My knee is still messed up from doing that. Did it on a skateboard.
Yep. No, we did it on an actual snowboard.
And yeah, and she tells him like, hey, you can charge him like. She would tell like if he didn't want to do it, she would be like, hey, you can charge him, gas money, and they'll gladly pay to get pulled.
Nope. He'll do it. He'll do it with no problem.
for her friends, like they'll make a little money while they're up on this lodge, hopefully.
I kind of almost imagine Skittles doing that, snowboarding on the headless body of the Krampus.
Yeah, I made some kind of like extreme sports gear out of it.
Yeah, if you eat some leftover bacon and biscuits, you get a HP bag also. All right, Donner, tell me how the story's going to end for old Donner.
All right, for Donner, he mostly spends the time licking his wounds, patching up, or sitting by the fire and enjoying some of that vodka for a change. Really enjoying that vodka. Kind of smiling and mostly listening to the stories of everybody else, kind of with a bit of a smile, and sets his little Christmas cap down a little low, and kind of quietly thanks the Kid Rugby for that extra ammo, because otherwise he'd have been screwed. But he definitely thinks back on the previous years and how easy they went, and hopes to the mighty Nick that next year will go smooth again. So he has a quiet end.
Perfect.
That's it for him. By the fire.
What about old Mickey?
So Mickey will pull the Slayer in, make sure the gates are secured, and head over to the fire and sit with his while Skittles is being tended to and bandaged up, laughing at the fact that her being the kind of person she is, that she's being bandaged up, and just imagining how she's telling these stories and sitting there looking at these cuts and all this being wrapped up and thinking she's probably just had the time of her life. And he would pour a couple of glasses of the vodka and sit down and break out a couple of the biscuits and sit next to his buddy Donner and pour each of them a glass and give him a little toast and a little tap, and just kind of mention, well, it's it was a hard year, but another successful one. We did it again, my old friend, and just kind of sit back and watch everybody else as they rejoice at the for one, getting the gifts, two, vanquishing this beast, and just enjoy the fellowship and companionship, and through the night, and just kind of rest and relax, get warm by the fire to try and recruit from the damage from these god awful cold attacks that this Krampus thing did to him. Just try to warm his bones and be satisfied.
Yep, sounds good.
Thank God it's just one night a year.
Really? First, before I tell you how the story ends, thanks to Gala Night Games, Alan Barr, for the tiny wastelands and the tiny systems that he comes out with. Thanks to James Michael Spahn for writing this adventure, Wandering in a Wonderland, that I titled Scourge of the Sleigh Ride to change it up. But the first thing, after the battle with Krampus is over, we pan out to the little area of the mountains away from the last village you were at as the battle was going on. And standing there is this large human wearing this green jacket and these furs. As he's standing there with these large binoculars, he's watching the battle go on and on and on, that y'all fight. And when it's over with, he slips them back in a backpack, and he looks down towards, standing next to him is about a 4-foot tall mutant, half human, half reindeer. And he goes, "Looks like they did it, Rudolph. I guess we can go on. Tell them it would come in handy." They lead back up into the mountains. Y'all head back to y'all's enclave the next day, you know, and you spend your night there at the little campsite. And back on the second day, as you go back to your enclave, Mickey, you come across a little hill. It seems like the temperature has warmed up some. Definitely warmed up to the cold that it has been. But I mean, of course, it's still dead winter. You come up to the top of a little hill, pitter-pattering over the top of the hill, using your safe driving skills. As you come over the top of the hill, you see this flashing, bulbous red light that's in the middle of the road. But you see more than that this time. You see it is attached to a massive, mutated caribou. It's standing about 8 foot at the shoulder, and you would think weighs close to 1,000 pounds. Its muzzle covered with this partially frozen blood and partially droplets of blood that are coming off of it. Its nostrils are twinkling that red off and on, just like anger, as it's standing there looking towards you three and the Slayer. It puts its head down with its antlers and charges straight towards the Slayer. And that is where we're going to end the adventure known Scourge of the Sleigh Ride. Thank y'all.